Thank you for saving me. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you for saving me. Thank you, my Lord. You say now. Thank you for saving. I can't hear you. Thank you for blessing me. Thank you for healing. Oh. You're not a man. No, you're not a. I can't hear you, but I said, you're the God. You're no. All the music. No one like you said. No one like you. Ayana. No one like you. Everybody say. No one like. Allah Deura. You say you're the. I need you to remember this, all this. Even we bring sacrifice of praise. You say. Into the sound. One more time. We bring sacrifice of. Into this house. Oh my God. Into this house. Can you throw your hands? Sing as we offer. Your sacrifice. You remember this one? Praise the Lord. Praise His holy name. Praise His holy name. Even in the downtime, oh, I'm here praising you, God. Everybody praise my God, oh. Everybody praise my God, oh. It doesn't matter what comes my way. Everybody praise your God, oh. Somebody praise Him, oh. But everybody praise your God, oh. Hey! I am seeing the Lord's goodness. You say. I can't hear you now. All right. Welcome everybody. How on a day? How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. What's going on here? I feel like I can't hear nothing. All right. Can you guys hear me clearly? Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live, when we drop videos. Welcome. Yes, today we're talking about your favorite topic in the world, narcissism. All right, so we're going to talk about it, but today we're just going to dive in through this topic. I want to hear your thoughts on it. You guys have been, I guess we could say, students of this probably for the longest, since the beginning of Gen Z, since the beginning of modern day marriage relationships. Welcome, sir. Mr. Dyer, how are you, sir? Welcome. Marriott, how you doing? Good to see you. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We have a good show, a session lined up for you today. We're going to learn together. Okay, there's a lot going on out there, and every solution creates new problems. And unfortunately, as many people were trying to teach narcissism, it has created a new set of problems. So nonetheless, today we're going to touch on this topic and have fun, learn, relearn, all of that today. All right, so definitely today we're going to touch on I'm going to end with the 7 solutions that I have for you, but we're going to definitely touch on 18 crazy narcissistic traits, overlapping confusions that can overlap with the common solution, boundaries, and self-love, which is what most people say the solution is. But nonetheless, there's an overlap, there's confusion everywhere. Yes. And then we're going to touch on 11 myths and belief system. Then I'm going to find out if it's true or false. You guys will tell me. And then the 3 major issues that is probably the real issue. And then we're going to touch on the 7 solutions. All right. So did I say hit the like button, share, subscribe already? Yes. It's not a popular topic here, but it's a popular topic out there, so I must address it. All right. Without any further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the first of the segments. I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right. So one of the best places, most popular place, not best place, that people go and learn narcissism is this, so let's just listen to a couple of videos and then we'll take it from there. Okay, let's listen to the first one.
There are 4 quick ways. You still don't know if that's a narcissist. Let me help you real quick. There are 4 quick ways you can spot a narcissist. Say this post for later, let's get right to it. Number 1, they have an extreme lack of empathy. They do not associate their behavior with wrong or bad. Notice when you're dealing with somebody toxic and have unhealthy behaviors, they will shift blame. They're going to blame their behavior on everything but them. They're going to say things like,
I was just drunk. I'm just tired from working 15 hours a day. No haggy when I don't go to the gym.
they will not accept accountability.
Wait, what was that voice? A man's voice. Okay, let's continue.
Because they lack empathy. Number 2, manipulate for personal gain. And yes, they're very sneaky, so they're not just gonna come out and ask you for $500. No, Linda, listen, they're not doing that. What they're gonna do is give you a sob story. They're gonna make you feel sorry for them, and you're gonna offer the money. Maybe you're gonna say, hey, you don't have to pay me the rent this month. You don't have to give me nothing on the car note this month. I got you. You think you're being supportive, but really you just fell into their trap. They manipulate for personal gain, and they sneaky about how they get what they want. Number 3, they're extremely pessimistic, and yes, they get supply like this. Let me tell you how you always looking at the downside and the what ifs, always in this hole, and you always have to lift them up and give them praise and just tell them everything is going to be okay and you're a great person. Like really lifts them up and boosts their ego and allowing you to do this for them because it does give them spot. And number 4 is everybody's favorite. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yes, they have a public persona. They have an image that they got to keep up. That's the person that they present when you go to social events, when you go anywhere with your family and friends. You get the kind and generous, helpful person, quoting Bible scriptures. That's what they get. But at home, you get withdrawn, psycho, alcoholic, putting you down, manipulating you, lazy. You're getting this completely different person, and you're trying to figure out, is it me or them? Is it me or them? Is them or me? They just able to take the mask off at home because they feel comfortable doing it with you. Around everybody else, they have to put this mask on, suit, and boot up. There are 3 ways that you can protect yourself against the narcissist. Number 1, you're going to set boundaries and start telling them no. Number 2, you're going to stop overthinking things. When you make a decision,
Set boundaries, stop overthinking things.
you're going to stand on it like your name, King Harris. 3, you're going to start loving yourself the way you want them to love you. My name, Natalie.
All right.
I hope this helps you.
She said you're going to set self-love, boundaries, and stop overthinking. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one.
I've been watching this creator, and I'm so glad, first off, that she was able to escape her mother. The narcissistic and abusive Nigerian culture is a real thing, and I don't give a fuck. Call me wayward, whatever, because I see a couple Nigerians in the comments coming for me. I don't have to have a relationship with my mother just because she's my mother. Outside of them being your parents, you start to see your parents as people. And when you become an adult, that veil is completely lifted. I don't have to go into detail about the things that my mother has done to say, like, I deserve to be treated better and I deserve to have some form of respect. Being a parent does not mean you automatically get to disrespect your child and make them feel as though you are owed something based on the sacrifice. The sacrifice of you coming to another country and creating a better life for children who didn't ask to be here. And then the things that you're supposed to do as a parent, you're owed something because of that. Fuck.
All right, so this time around, I actually caught that at the right time. She was about to use the F word. This time around, she's not talking about a romantic partner. She's talking about a parent now, a Nigerian parent to be precise. Let's keep going.
That. And I have an issue with a lot of Nigerians, a lot of the older Nigerians.
Oh, we're catching stray bullets, Nigerians.
And they think they can just talk to you crazy without getting checked. And that's why I keep my distance. Because you need to know that, one, I'm an adult, and whenever I have kids, I'd be damned if a Nigerian is all up in their face telling them what they need to be doing, how they need to act, who they need to address. Back up. A lot of Nigerians are very intrusive and invasive of your space. They disregard mental health, very extremely misogynistic. My father is extremely misogynistic. I'm talking my grandmother, his mom was circumcised, and he sees absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just the women should be seen, not heard mentality. That'll never fly with me. I don't give a fuck how old you are, who you are, what chief you are. I do not care. And that's not me being disrespectful.
So ahead of me continue, I just want you to see, try to search in your cognitive abilities. What is the commonality between this person and the person who is complaining of the same thing about a romantic partner? Narcissistic trait is real. I'm going to share about 18 signs, I think, with you today. So in no way, shape, or form am I minimizing the realities of those traits inside of relationship. And but like I said, every new solution creates new problems. So it's high time we dealt with the problem that this knowledge has created in relationships today, at least for me and you. Okay, let's keep going. Now again, think about what is the commonality between her and somebody who is complaining of the same thing about a romantic partner, because now she's talking about Nigerian parents, talk about her father, misogynistic behavior, all those kind of things, but let's keep going.
Respectful.
I already warned you, it's confusion. So
with my own human experience living this life. The pressure to be a doctor, lawyer, yeah, that's all great and stuff. But the parents who have kids who are more on the creative side pour into that too. Nigerians completely disregard that. There was a family here who their son was struggling. I'm in Austin, Texas. Their son was struggling with mental health issues. The mom thought she could pray it away, aka disregard it because you want to keep the family name, right? He ends up killing his sister. So now you lost 2 children because of your outdated ways of thinking. And it's bullshit, and it
Welcome,
needs
Uncle
to be
Patrick.
addressed. And I'm so glad that she's shedding light on this because it is a real issue. It is a real issue. And a lot of the things that I struggle with in my adult life are because of the way that I was brought up by Nigerians. And that's the thing that gets me. Some of the nastiest people I've met, first ones in the pews on Sundays. Get real. My aunt being one of them. I can't stand my dad's sister. Nasty. Just, ugh. And there are a lot of Nigerian women like her. I truly try to keep my distance. And it's just, she's telling the truth. If you don't like it, it's no disrespect to the culture. I'm proud.
All right, so what's common here? We've gone from, we haven't touched romantic partners yet. We've gone from parent, okay, that's general, but we've gone that to her father. We've gone that to, no, this remember this lady on the screen, Ifeanyi, to her mother first, and then to her father, and now to aunties, right? What is common in all of this? Let's keep going. Let's keep on going, okay?
I'm proud to be Nigerian 1,000%, but let's call a fucking spade a spade. Because a lot of the ways that y'all live is ass backwards. Let's talk about the husbands real quick. A lot of them are dogs. Trust me.
We just went to their husbands.
Nigerian store here. They all come to the shop, and you know what time they're on. Like, I've been raised by dogs my entire life. Like, all my dad's little friends, yeah. They feel like the women should stay in a woman's place while they just do whatever. That'll not fly with me. There's a lot of shit in the Nigerian culture that is exactly that shit. And it'll never be incorporated in my life. My kids will not experience the bullshit. And I'm glad she got her daughter and got the fuck away from her mother.
All right, because so you can imagine this young lady, I don't know how old she is. You can imagine, right, that she went back home right now after this speech, and she went back to her loving husband and children. I don't know how old she is. Maybe she's actually much younger, but whatever. Let's just imagine she went back home to a happy life after this speech, right? Just imagine it, and then I'll leave it at that. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Because her mom was straight up lying and gaslighting her.
Keyword.
And that's what they do.
Buzzword, gaslight.
With my mother as well. And then people in the comments are like, your kids will do the same shit to you. If they do, then that's something that I have to look at within myself. Because I fucked up somewhere, and that's okay to admit, because parents fuck up. But the thing with Nigerian parents, they'll never take accountability. They'll never acknowledge your feelings. They'll never pour into their child positive affirmations. They just expect you to know. They expect you to know, and they expect you to do.
Okay, I'm picking up never, 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 never. When you tend to use the word never always in this kind of conversations, those are, just know that those are conclusions, okay? Those are conclusions. So even if there's an exception, you probably won't be capable of seeing the exceptions. Even if those exceptions were actually yours, you won't see them. But let's keep going. You hear never, ever, never, never, they will never. Is she right? Yes. Okay. She's generalizing, but nonetheless, the energy that she's bringing to this conversation is a lot. And I doubt that she's just having this a good old speech on a good old day. No big deal, right? I doubt it. You have to watch. See, self-awareness is key, but let's continue.
If you're having a day, if you're depressed, if you're whatever, that doesn't matter. Like, you're seen as an extension of them, and it does you as an individual a disservice. It's bullshit. Been watching this creator, and I'm so glad.
All right, so that's that. Let's continue. Well, before we continue, let me look at. I think I saw some. Somebody said my mom doesn't understand that I'm an adult and don't respect boundaries. So she's probably gonna attract, obviously, a lot of parents just don't understand, right? She's gonna attract a lot of those, right? Somebody said it's not just Nigeria, sis, Kenya too. I understand this very, very well. Okay, so they're already discombobulating her point. Somebody said, to be honest, addressing our problem isn't bad, and kids don't magically disconnect from their parents for no reason. Exactly. I wrote my mother a letter. Okay, she's telling us a little bit more. I wrote my mother a letter about 2 years ago explaining why she can't be in my life, and she's still confused. She's probably confused. That should probably be a message to you. I have a very strong feeling you're going to miss that message. Okay. But let's keep going. So I said, preach. Just went no contact with my mom. I'm done. I love being Nigerian, but it's also cost me so much heartbreak. She goes, I'm happy for you. Time to live your life. Okay. So again, when you think this is about marriage, maybe you should rethink it again. When I say marriage is not the problem, the persons, not you in person, but the persons in the marriage are the problems. Okay. That's why even when they run away from marriage, it's like their shadow. Their problems follow them everywhere they go, right? Does that mean they're not victims? I'm not saying that. I'm actually trying to have a more wholesome conversation here. I want you to understand what's going on here at its core, not just pointing fingers, of course, right? Somebody said, let me see, constantly being told by mother when I was younger that she doesn't owe me anything. So I act that way to this day. I don't owe you either. Then, okay, I'm glad you set your boundaries. Let me see here. Let's see. I actually think Ifeanyi is doing good hard work for Nigerians. They need to reflect. No culture is perfect, and the narcissistic aspects, misogyny, all are the parts that need to change. It's not okay. Now, Danielle says, breaking generational curses is something to be proud of. Somebody said, as a first generation Ghanaian, well, somebody first of all said Jamaican parents too. Okay. Human beings are the same everywhere you go. Okay. That may be like one of your first few steps in solving this problem for yourself. If you just stop generalizing, maybe you'll calm down a little bit and have some patience so you can actually solve this problem for yourself first before you try to solve it for other people, which might include your parents or your husband or your wife. All right, believe it or not, more than enough men are also jumping out into the internet and calling their wife narcissist these days. Anyway, as a first gen Ghanaian parent, American, I only recently realized the toxicity and manipulation I was exposed to on a daily. Me and my daughter are over it. Danielle says, good for you. I have problems with my confidence because growing up, my mom will beat me for speaking when adults are talking. I love my mother. She knew no better. Okay, at least she said, I'm sorry that you experienced that. It's always the part about sacrifice that people mention, but at the same time, they had their life in their hands and they chose, right? They chose for themselves. We can't know if things went differently. And then what did she say? What the creator said? She would never ask them to make any sacrifice. Listen to that. We never asked to make any sacrifice. Wow. That's like the same line as, did I ask you to be a man? Isn't that what a man is supposed to be? Isn't that what a father is supposed to do? Do you need candy for being a great father on Father's Day? Those are the same sentences along that same line, right? All right, that should tell you everything you need to know, but probably not. We have a conversation to be had here. We never asked them to make any sacrifice. Wow. Somebody said Jamaican, same shit. First generation blues. All right. Somebody said, in complete agreement with you. Her videos broke my heart. 64-year-old American going through the same. A 64-year-old American going through the same. With what? Like a 100-year-old parent? What the hell is going on here? Somebody said, born and raised in Zimbabwe. I had a loving family, married a Nigerian. The family is amazing with so much love. So sad this happened to you. Uh-oh. And I don't see any reply on that one. But, of course, she won't reply. But let's keep going.
But, madam, in a situation where your husband is a narcissist but still gives you money for everything, yes, there are some situations like that. The narcissist will provide. Some narcissists, those are the grandiose narcissists. Grandiose narcissists.
Grandiose.
In making sure that the home front looks very stable and standard. They take pride in that. Some narcissists, they are the grandiose narcissists. They take pride. In fact, they will even set up their
It shock you.
make sure that they are doing well in business. But is that affection, that grace, that compassion, that empathy is not there for their partner? They will punish the partner in other places. But you see, in provision, they don't want the partner looking crazy. So narcissists will want their partner to look impeccable. Very important. But that doesn't mean that the narcissist is not putting the partner through other suffering. That one too, they happen. Grandiose narcissists. They provide. You see them in the life of the children. They are there present for the children. Grandiose narcissists. So when you are married to a grandiose narcissist, he might provide for you very well. They do well. Grandiose narcissists, you see them, they are like the hierarchy. They like to do well in everything. They like to perform well. They drive the best cars. They do the best in their particular field of specialization. They are one of the best in their field. They take pride in excellence. And so, they want their children to look excellent. They want their wife to look excellent. But they deprive her of love, affection, empathy, sympathy, care. They don't bless her in that way where she nourishes herself. She's starved of love and affection. And in some ways like that. So it is part of it. You know what you can tolerate. You know what you can endure. You know what you can take. And for how long you can take it. So if you can tolerate that, because so long as the man is providing for you, you can find other ways to make yourself happy. Do you understand? So long as it's not hitting.
Wait.
Physical abuse.
So you're gonna turn around and call your husband a narcissist, not just verbally, but in your heart of hearts, he's a narcissist, right? In other words, he's an enemy. Okay. I mean, how can you call somebody a narcissist and not see them as an enemy? Yes, it's possible. What are the likelihood? Very unlikely. You probably see them as the enemy, right? But you find a space in your heart to have a healthy relationship with that person by what? Find other ways to do what? Again, she's just giving you a solution. She's trying to help, I guess. But our whole channel is called on TikTok. The whole page, I think, is called Narcissism Explained. I mean, is that the title? Let me see. Listen, that's the name of the channel. Look, this is the name of the channel. Narcissism Explained. Imagine me start a whole page and call it Narcissism Explained. Anyway, it's a fantastic way to make some good TikTok money, by the way. But may the good Lord help us. Let's continue. By the way, most of the people, not her in particular, most of the people teaching narcissism, creating content around narcissism on the internet, they literally see you as the mumu, as the sucker, because you will eat it up. They just have to create videos about narcissism every day, and you will eat it up every day because it helps you justify how you feel. But let's continue.
Involved, then I won't advise you to continue because you might not live long. And we want to live long, we want to enjoy life. So long as they are not imprisoning you, you are not a prisoner. You don't even if you enjoy the money, so what will be the point?
How do you not feel like a prisoner if you're living with quote unquote a narcissist? I don't know how we comprehend this, okay, but you will see this come up on maybe the third segment today. where I talk about the four main problems, the actual four main problems that most people are dealing with, and they are basically calling it narcissists. Okay. Narcissistic traits, these are more so the symptoms, but there's I'm going to share with you the four major issues that you think are narcissism, but these are more of the deeper issues. Okay, but let's continue. But there's an issue here. There's an internal battle going on. There's an internal struggle going on here, and we've gone way past the actual marital problem. We're now in the struggle, in the internal struggle things. You know, that moment where you feel to where you question yourself and you question everything you've ever believed, and you might even translate that to, oh, they make you question yourself, which is part of, quote unquote, the signs of narcissism, right? I told you it's a massive confusion going on, but we'll try our best today to see if we can dissect them. Okay,
You know what you can tolerate, so you know how long you can tolerate it for. Make your plans. Victims, they don't usually have plans. You make a plan.
all right. So making a plan is like saying that the person that's about to face sexual harassment should make a plan when it comes to this stuff. I don't know what she mean by making a plan, but if you have time to make a plan, let's continue. I'll get to all of that.
When you now have a plan, you can follow through with your own plan. And that's how the universe will open doors to you. But have a plan, have a goal for your life. And that's where you start.
All right,
But
let's go to the next one.
You don't give me peace. You don't give me peace. Ask the narcissist. What is it?
You don't give me peace. You don't give me peace. She said what? She said, ask the narcissist. We're talking about probably more so she's talking about the husband. You don't give me peace. You don't give me peace. Ask the narcissist. In your mind, you're like, oh, auto suggestion. I guess my husband is a narcissist, right? An enemy. Okay, somebody who's out to destroy you. By the way, let's keep going.
Meaning of peace. They don't know it. You are not respectful. You don't respect me. You don't know how to do this. You are not this. Yeah, ask the narcissist. What is the meaning of respect?
She said, ask the narcissist. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Me too, I mispronounce it sometimes. Let's keep going.
But they want it. You are ungrateful. You are not grateful for what I did for you. I married you.
Ask the narcissist.
What is the meaning of grateful? What is the meaning of ungrateful? They don't know the meaning, but they want it. You are not submissive. You are not submissive.
So when you take this and you go back to your partner, wife or husband, right? Most likely probably husband, right? But it's getting more popular among the men, by the way, just so you know. And you go back to your partner, right? And you go, well, are you gonna say, what is the meaning of grateful? Are you gonna have enough patience to ask that question? Where she already told you that the person is a narcissist? No, the first thing that will be like, you're a narcissist. That's the first thing you will call them. You can't wait to call them that name. Why? Because it will hurt. I mean, if it doesn't hurt, they'll be confused. You're looking for a way to. You're just trying to hit where it hurts too, right? Because you're hurting. You know, hurt people. So, but she's just trying to help. That's all. It's a TikTok. You know, this is what you can learn about narcissism on TikTok. That's what we're going through, by the way.
I want you to do this. Ask the narcissist, what is the meaning of submission? They want it, but they don't know the meaning. It's the I'm your husband. I'm your husband. You have to listen to me just because I'm your husband. I'm here to ask the narcissist, what is the meaning of husband? They don't know the meaning, but they want it. In this marriage, you need to do this. This is called marriage. Now you need to submit. You need to bow. You ask the meaning. Ask them the meaning of marriage. Narcissists don't know the meaning of marriage.
Anyway, this person is some Lovette Ashanti said, this is my husband speaking all this. Oh God.
But they want it. You know one thing about the narcissist? Narcissists want all these good things that marriage hopes, but they cannot do what it takes to get that. Narcissists want.
Marriott says, who is a narcissist? This would be a good question we can answer today, but I'm not sure if we can we define narcissist. I guess we can pull up a definition on Google, I guess, but to get through that we're gonna have to go to 18 signs today. So But she's already telling us some of them. If your husband comes to you and say, I want peace, that's the sign of a narcissist. If your husband comes to you and say, I want respect, that's the sign of a narcissist. You see, this is so. If your wife came to you after you ask her for respect, and then she comes back home 2 days later, and then she calls you a narcissist, now you see where she's getting all the lessons from. Okay, these are the most popular videos out there, just so you know.
Respect, but they cannot do what it takes to get respect. Narcissists want submission, but they cannot do what it takes to get submission. Narcissists want you to do this for them, but they cannot do what it takes to get it. That's the problem. Narcissists just believe like people that are getting this is just automatically. They don't know that they work for something to get something. Narcissists don't like stress. They cannot do anything it takes. They just believe like, I'm married to you and let everything come. Just because I'm married to you, just find out how everything will be okay. It's not my responsibilities to do anything. My only responsibilities that I need to do is to get married to you, is to pay your bride price, is to buy you from your family. So now I bought you from your family, so now you need to serve me. So give me peace of the narcissists, they don't know the meaning. Submission, they don't know the meaning. You are ungrateful, they don't know the meaning. Ask them whatsoever the narcissist said to you that you are not giving them peace, so you are not grateful, you are not this. Ask them that what is the meaning? This marriage, ask them what is the meaning. Ask them. Narcissists has no explanation for anything they are asking. They just want it, and they don't know the reason.
There you are. That's a definition of narcissist. Hold on 1 second. Let me sneeze. I beg. The sneeze did not come. Let's continue.
Why they want it, but they believe like marriage comes with those things, but they forget about the sacrifice.
It came.
That's the thing. You see, the narcissist will tell you go, but the moment you pick your things, you are going. They will tell you, you are not even fighting for this marriage. You want to go, that means you have someone. They say you should go. They say you are not fighting. So they don't know. They want it. They don't want it. They don't know what they want. So sometimes the
narcissists are confused people. They don't know what they want.
Narcissists ask for something that they don't know the meaning. The narcissists want to get something they cannot work for, they don't work for. It's like someone who is not working that wants to get salary. You have to work for it before you can get the salary. But the narcissists don't want to do the work at all, but they just want to earn it like it's automatically just because they get married to you, they have to get all those things. So when the narcissists tell you don't do this, you don't do that, tell them what is the meaning. Why are you asking for it? If the narcissists tell you don't do this, don't do that, ask them, why did you ask me not to do this? What is the reason? The only reason you will hear from them, just because I'm your husband, when I tell you not to do something, you have to do it.
You have to do it.
That's the
All right, let me see the comment. Let me see. Somebody said my ex. You are very correct. Exactly. Truth. You are knowledgeable about narcissists. Well, she has experience, obviously, I think. Even when you give them all these things, they still don't understand what you're giving them. Always changing the goalpost. Blessed mommy. God bless you. My husband's national anthem. Good day. My ex-husband. Very beautiful illustration, man. Okay, a couple of things have been common to all those people, right? If you notice, right, there's very minimal attention on solution, right? They're the victims, but they're also very minimal. They don't really spend a lot of time on. I think one person so far spent maybe a couple of seconds on solution. The person said boundaries, self-love, and what was the third one? What was the third one? I forgot the third one. Boundaries, self-love, and I'm trying to remember now. I forgot. Anyway, so I think that person spent like a few seconds on that. You know, somebody said have a plan. Somebody did say have a plan. Stay there, but have a plan. Mine said I am arrogant, yet she was the one who is arrogant. This is a man made his way into this comment, right? This is part of the confusion right here. The same thing that you're complaining about, that you're making its definition of narcissism, is narcissism. Is it not narcissism? Narcissism or narcissism? Okay, let's just make it for narcissism, right? The same thing you're complaining about is probably what the other person is complaining about you. Maybe they don't use the word narcissism, but maybe they are more so just as confused as you are. you know. But we can just agree that Agbas and Bos sometimes are the same thing. But let's go on to the next one.
Narcissist does not want you. Everybody to a narcissist.
Hey, Bomi.
The only time I want to see this mug is when I want to drink coffee or tea. It is only when the narcissist wants to have you that they want you. The narcissist is a loner. They like to be alone. They don't want anybody in their space.
She just gave you a sign of a narcissist. They like to be alone. They don't want you in their space.
Their business. They don't want you. But they have to pretend as if they want you so that they can use you. Hey.
They like to pretend. I told you guys some months ago. I said one of the most dangerous words you're going to find in this internet space is pretend when it comes to relationships, right? If the other person is pretending, then they're just the enemy. Why would you want to stay with them? It's well, you can't tell the victim how long they should stay. Listen, we've heard all the talking points back in cycle, and then we'll go back, and then we'll come back, and then we're the victim, and sometimes we're the offender, and then it's just complete chaos. Can we all at least admit to that there's a complete chaos when it comes to this topic? All right, let's continue.
If they don't need you at this time, they don't want you. That's why victims are suffering.
They are needy people.
That's why they will have a child and abandon the child. You are like
narcissists abandon their children. Okay, so it's not an absolute, right? So if they stay with their children, it doesn't mean they're not a narcissist, but that could be a sign. That's an additional sign you should pay attention to. If they abandon their children, narcissist.
Cool. If they are not thinking of that tool, they don't remember you. You are like a seasoning. It is only when they want to make their food they remember you. They just want you to be quiet in that corner. When they need you, they pick you up, they use you and put you back there. And they don't want you to leave that space. They don't want you to have a life because you are like a chair. What if they want to sit down? Would you tell them that you're pursuing a career? Sit there. If you move, I destroy you. And complication. You need to understand the mind of
at least she said it's a complication. Come on, let's give her a pass.
a narcissist and how it works. You will be.
She said the mind of a narcissist and how it works. A lot of you are trying to study narcissists and how they work, and that actually is probably your major problem, but it's probably a bigger problem than the narcissists. Okay, the fact that you sit down, this is an advice from them. Okay, and yeah, this is an advice from them. Sit down there and, just study them, Mario says, Atiwa, I feel bad for professionals who spent 8 years in school for this. Don't feel bad for them. You're a lawyer. I don't feel bad for you because you have to stay in the game and remain a student of the game. There's no 8 years. It's for a lifetime. People change all the time. You need to remain a student of the game. If you taught something 8 years ago and now people have misnyan it and turn it to all kind of nonsense, it's your responsibility to stay a professional, continue to learn, continue to pay attention to your audience and how they receive, especially if you call yourself any form of psychologist. There's no 8 years, it's a lifetime. You're supposed to be a student of this for a lifetime, So it is what it is. I wouldn't feel bad for a doctor that has to keep practicing. They have to stay in school for 13 years and they have to also keep learning. They have to go to seminars and stay on top of their game, or they have to learn software. I know all about that because I consult with doctors when it comes to softwares, right? They hate that they have to learn this stuff, but hey, anything that the government says is going to create better patient care, and you have to learn it. Well, I'm not really a computer person. Tell that to the mirror. You have to stay on top of your game. This is part of the game.
Free.
Somebody said, hold on.
Narcissist.
Somebody said, I dislike to be boxed to the corners, and so I'm of the standpoint that no one is indispensable. I know how to do everything. Please, am I a narcissist? Let me see if he got a reply. I fear to tell you the truth. So I said, how do I get free from these people? So I said, how does one handle or manage being discarded while still living with the narcissist, but You cannot leave yet because your exit plan is not complete and children are involved. Hey, exit plan inside of marriage, inside life. The best way to deal with a narcissist is by giving he or her a silent treatment. You hear? A person is prescribing a solution, prescribing a solution for narcissism, and they said give them a silent treatment. You can't make this shit up. You're looking at it on the screen. There you have it. Oh, well, this is getting more fun. Can we now protest so they can ban her account? He says way too much. Somebody is already kicking against her. The chairman of the Knox, Don de Para. They can't ban you. We are with you. You can't ban her, man. This is a popular topic because you are one of them. And you that sounds like a Yoruba person. Say you're one of them. Well, this person is a Nigerian person, I guess. Everyone is a narcissist. Period. This guy is just tired. Everybody is a narcissist. Somebody said loners are not narcissists. No, who are you? Are you correcting her? She's a social media psychologist. Leave that thing alone. Somebody said true. Now everything are narcissists. Very soon they will tell us food narcissist person, food narcissistic person eat. Sis, how do I make sure to leave me completely alone? I've told him I don't want anything to do with him. Blocked him, but every few months he calls on. And this person got 30 replies. I had to leave quietly recently, leaving everything behind. Or mine hovered and lured me. That hovered and lured me, those are part of the most popular signs of social media signs of narcissism, by the way. Hovered and lured. Hovered, gaslighting, supply. We haven't heard the word supply so far. You ever heard supply before? Wait, I was jumping ahead of myself. Mine hovered and lured me back, even with the new supply for triangulation. And the abuse went haywire. Now I'm struggling to leave. Those are all things. I'm not joking around with them. Those are all real things that actually hurt people. But nobody's providing solutions. Everybody just want to talk about the pain, and everybody wants to wallow. They would rather wallow in the pain. It seems to me that they would rather wallow in the pain than actually tag on to solution, not just solution, but lasting solution. That is the fear that I have for a lot of these people that are quote unquote students of narcissism. You know, they get stuck in it. It's a cycle. They get stuck in this cycle of actually victimizing themselves. Another key word phrase we hear a lot is idealization and devaluation, right? They're actually doing it to themselves. Yes, it might have been done to them, but they actually do it to themselves because they, a lot of people long after they left the relationship, they keep doing it to themselves. Uncle Patrick said, is it only men that are narcissists? This is a good question. We're going to talk about the false beliefs today. Let me see if I have one more here.
Thank God I left the narcissist because he was putting pressure on me to give birth. When you meet a narcissist,
wait for it.
They will deceive you by telling you they want to impregnate you.
Okay, so if I met a girl, I probably told my girl of 20 plus years now, I probably told her in the beginning that I want to shoot those clubs up. I probably did. Okay, my mouth is raunchy like that in real life. I probably told her that I can't wait to impregnate you. And probably I didn't marry her until 3 years later when I actually did impregnate her right away. Right? But I don't know. But we also had arguments on and off in between because, we're 24, 25, 26 years old. So, yeah, that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. And We didn't know any better. We had arguments because human beings have arguments. We didn't know to avoid them because they are real, right? But those were also probably good moments where she could have called me a narcissist and run far from me because I would be deceiving her. Oh, God. Let's continue.
You would already, you'll be thinking it's because they cannot wait to start a family with you. They cannot wait to grow old with you. That's where your own mind is going. No. Childbearing is what seals the deal for the prison.
Hey, prison.
The prison they are
No
taking
long.
you to. By the time you start having children, they know it is very difficult.
The prison of
to have
marriage.
a life. That's why. A lot of women, the moment they start having children, life stops for them. They can't they can't juggle having children and having career at the same time. The narcissist is fully aware that a lot of women are struggling.
Listen to this part. The narcissist is fully aware.
When it comes to childbearing, a woman cannot do that and also pursue career at the same time. Very few women, 1 in 10 women, are able to do that. The narcissist knows that. And that's why they will convince you
That word is a
to start
struggle
having
word.
children immediately. Because they know that will tie you down in that abuse. You cannot live. That is a sure banker. For sure, they are going to pin you down.
Pin you down inside a marriage. A marriage which is a scam, of course, by the way, is a scam. It's a scam as far as social media is concerned. But, yeah. Wait, what did you say? I forgot to read it. That air is giving Oluweri. What? Magbojo pest. Okay, that yeah, I guess those were emojis. God have mercy upon us. God have mercy upon us. What happened to? Interesting. Can you guys still hear me? Let me just see here. Okay. You guys can still hear me, but let's see here. Okay. And let's try this now. Okay. All right, it should be good now.
That's why. So when you start hearing things like, I can't wait for you to be the mother of my children, please run for your dear life.
Run,
Warning.
Run,
Ghost the narcissist. Disappear.
Run,
Never to be seen. Block the narcissist. Once you hear those words,
if you hear, I want to impregnate you.
My baby. I cannot wait.
Never mind what the banter is about. Never mind if it's a banter. That's too serious. How can they be talking about how they want to impregnate you? Never mind if they've been dating you for a while. Problems.
Without warning, disappear on the narcissist, and that's it.
Without warning.
Flag.
Never mind that that's actually not what you want to do, because you too, you're obsessed and needy. You are with this person. Yes, you have confusion in the relationship. Yes, sometimes you feel like you want to run away, but sometimes you're also needy. Sometimes you're obsessed with the person. In fact, they've been taking you for granted because you struggle with self-love and self-care. Never mind all of that. Just listen to her and run away from what you actually want. You're not supposed to want it. Let's tell you not to want it. You will not want it in Jesus' name. Yeah, confusion, exactly.
The greatest red flag. I can't tell you how big that red flag is. It's a very giant red flag. Run for your dear life.
Run, no.
The more they continue to impregnate you, run for your dear life. You have the first one. It won't be long. They give you another one. It won't even be...
Why are you running? Why are you running?
She said run. Why are you running?
Up to a year, they follow it with another child. Follow it with another one. If you fall for it, the victim is finished. From there.
So now it only makes sense that if you it only makes sense that if you find yourself in a situation where you're already married to a person, 4 babies in, and then you're wondering, how did that end up with 4 babies with this Mongo Park? Shout out to the Obodo fam. And you're wondering, it makes sense to you that you question yourself. You question the life decisions you've made, probably devalue yourself even further. It makes sense that there's confusion in your life. Today, we have to talk about how to get through this. Today, we will talk about how to get yourself out of this situation, because I don't blame you if you've been listening to a lot of these videos. There's Oyinbo versions of the video, there's Nigerian versions of the video, there's professional versions of the videos, of these same weirdo videos, by the way. There are people that have gone through school that don't have any real life experience, and they're also giving a lot of this stuff. So this stuff did not just fall out of the skies. A lot of time they didn't add proper context into these topics, and so people are interpreting how they deem fit. Whatever fits their side of the brain that works, whatever fits their own personal pain is what they end up perpetuating, you know. And it's creating serious problems, I promise you. A lot of people will leave their marriage, and then 3 years later they're like, damn. And a lot of people are supposed to leave, okay? So I want to make sure I always say that.
Some 5, 10. That's a prison. And having children is not a sign that they care about you, not a sign that they love you, not a sign that they wish you well. They just want to make sure that they seal the deal in that prison that they have created for you. So please run away from the narcissist. If you can, run for your dear life.
So I know with our mouth, we don't say that the children are the devil, but we might as well just go ahead and say it. When it comes to marriage crisis, a lot of people, they're just getting ready to say, you know what, the children shouldn't have been here. Oh, the way they say, they might say things like, well, the only blessings I got out of this was my children. But they don't really mean that. You have to just look at their action to determine how they truly feel. And yeah, because action speaks louder than words. But let me see. In the comments, somebody said he tried so many drugs so I can be pregnant as fast as possible, and I started suspecting him. This is not just narcissism, this is evil. If somebody did that with you and they were literally trying to trap you, you know, a man traps you with pregnancy or a woman traps you with pregnancy, that person is evil. We're not talking about narcissism anymore. God knows I don't want to carry his baby because of his behavior. Okay, so you already I just said that. I promise you I didn't read that. Okay. So, but you carry the baby. What happened to the baby? Because of his behavior. Thank God I left haphazard. I wonder what happened to that baby. I wonder how that baby was raised. How is an individual supposed to identify a narcissist? I mean, even Google will do a better job teaching you this topic than the individuals that are creating content around this for the most part. I'm one of them. I'm just letting you know right now. Google will teach you, but sometimes when you're also trying to learn this stuff from a place of pain and brokenness, you're probably going to interpret them in the way that gives you short-term solutions. You know, you're just looking for another name to call your partner when in fact the issues are deeply rooted. The issues can be deeply rooted into your own personal past. It doesn't have to be your partner. And yes, if you have enough deeply rooted issues, you will more likely than not, you will interpret your partner's behaviors as narcissism if you've been consuming this kind of content. Let me see if there's any more.
Sometimes I see
there's more.
Like people saying, my narcissist does not beg. Not all narcissists beg. Narcissists don't beg. Narcissists are pride. They have ego. They have this. They have that. My dear, now I can see why the narcissists are overing some people's back.
What did she say? She said overing some people's back. By the way, hover is a real word. It's a real English word. You can hover with your mouse. Overing some people's back. Is there a more basic English we could use to describe somebody stalking you? Maybe stalk, overing your back. What do you mean by that? Oh, your favorite psychologist used the term, so you just had to use that word. It's not the word. The word is not the problem. It's just that sometimes the way people use them, you can almost smell it. Like, ouch. This person has joined the cult. It's going to be tough to get them out of there, but problems.
Because when you say narcissist are not,
Some of you are listening to me and you know that I just exposed your nyash. But it's okay. I just want to bring something to your attention. Self-awareness is key. Self-awareness is the major key in all of this. It doesn't mean you haven't been a victim of a narcissist. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that there's a good chance you're stuck in a bad cycle. That's all I'm saying. And my job here is to help you exit that so that you can actually have life. So you can get your life back. That's my goal here, ultimately, okay? I promise.
begging, and one day you just see them, they start begging you, and you feel like, oh, I think this person is a new person. This person don't used to beg me before. Now he's begging me. That means he has changed for him to beg me. This is the reason why the narcissist over some people back. And let me tell you something, narcissists beg. They do beg. Those people that they are sending to you, how them be? How did they know something is going between you and them? Okay, those people just know. They just see and they just know that something is going on. Narcissists go to people sometimes to tell them what is going on so that those people can call you and beg you. If the narcissists don't beg you directly, they beg you indirectly. But both directly and indirectly, narcissists beg. I see, when you left 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, you think it's over. You think it's over. Narcissists come, they go re-strategize. So don't be shocked when you see.
So what she's explaining to people that say, but he came back and begged me. And she's like, nah, that doesn't make him not a narcissist. See, I'm almost going direction like that doesn't make somebody a narcissist, right? Obviously, we all have narcissistic traits, and I'm going to cover that in a second. I don't know how long this session is going to go, but I have a lot of material to cover today. But she's saying that because he begged doesn't make him not a narcissist. She's trying to align whatever you're going through in your marriage, man or woman, it doesn't matter. She needs to align it into that one word, narcissist, because she already knows you are a mumu, and if you don't align it into the word narcissist, nothing else is going to work for you, because after all, it's one of the most popular words on the internet today. She's actually live. This person is live. I wonder what she's talking about. The name of, let me see. Oh, the person went off. The person was live. Narcissism Talks. The whole channel is built on narcissism with 10,000 followers, by the way. Most YouTube channels on narcissism are in the millions. They are in the millions for a reason. In a short period of time, by the way. Multiple videos in the millions. I just want you to know that. But for a good reason. Okay? Not good reason, but for a real reason. There are pain. There are actual real pain that people are going through. And so I can't afford to be dismissive about it. And that's not my intention at all. We will continue to talk about it whenever I feel like it. Honestly, I'm a little numb to it because the wrong people are using the word. But I will try my best to not make our channel about narcissism, because that's just retarded, in my opinion, personally, okay? Because I think a lot of the issues we're dealing with are day-to-day issues. It's almost always start and ends at conflict resolution skills, okay? Conflict resolution skills. There's no guarantee anywhere in history that you will be in a relationship and there won't be conflict. It doesn't exist. The only thing you have power that you can choose, you have choices at, is you can choose to learn how to handle conflict. And the more you handle conflict with grace and skills, the easier it gets. The more it looks like your life doesn't have conflict. As long as you're dealing with a person that still has something that they care about, right? But of course, part of the narcissistic topic is that they make it seem like you're dealing with a person that has nothing they don't have nothing that they care about except to make you a supply. of their happiness, of course. Let's keep going.
See, narcissists come this way, they come that way. Don't be shocked. So sometimes the way you don't expect that the narcissist will come for you, they will come for you that way. And that is when you'll be like,
Welcome,
maybe
Natu.
maybe they are a new person. Nothing is new in them. They re-strategize. Nothing is new in that person. Narcissists cannot change. They only change their victims.
That's the definition of narcissist. Narcissists can never change. They only change their victims. Can narcissists change? Absolutely, yes. But what is it that you're changing exactly? The person or the relationship? Exactly what do you mean by change? Killer mean by change? Because the only thing that's constant in life is change. Killer mean by what do you mean by change when you say can narcissists change? No, if you keep feeding them, like you keep incentivizing the behavior, it's not just narcissist. Human beings will not change if you keep incentivizing the same behavior. Okay, people only change as a result of walking away from pain or towards pleasure or relief. That's not a narcissistic thing. But of course, we must fit it into that word, right? Problems.
So you guys say, my narcissists don't beg. No, not all narcissists. Narcissists don't beg. It's a lie. When the narcissists try all possible best, and you did not answer them, they try everything, call people, call pastor, you did not. They will come in person.
By the way, she's right. A person who has been diagnosed with MPD can beg, by the way, if that's what we're talking about. That's the absolute form of it, right? A person has been diagnosed, they're actually narcissistic. I think Nick Cannon actually admitted to the whole world that he's a diagnosed MPD disorder person, right? But he's, hopefully he has some other healthy relationship outside of romantic relationships, right? But it seems like a person that can function in society, at least. But a person who is diagnosed, can they possibly come to you and beg you? Of course. So she's right about that. But I'm listening to everything else besides or behind the words and what she's trying to say, which is what I always say you need to listen to. Don't just listen to people's words, because though we say our word is our bond, oftentimes human beings are liars. Okay, they're not going to say I had a terrible experience, so I'm going to teach you based on my perspective what narcissism. They're not going to tell you that. Not just because they don't want to tell you that, it's because sometimes they don't have the self-awareness to tell you that. They just don't. Okay,
want to beg. Smearing your name, talking bad about you, is for you to get calm and go back to them. So there is a way narcissists do their thing. So when they did something to you, don't be shocked. This is the reason why they hoover some people back. You feel like, he has changed for him to
they
beg.
hoover some people back.
Narcissists no change you, and they beg. Don't think they don't beg. They don't beg you directly, they beg you indirectly. And both directly and indirectly, they beg. So you left 1 month, you did not see them beg, or you silent on them, you did not see them beg, or you do this with them, you did not see them beg. There was no, and you did this to them, they did not beg. You do that to them, they did not beg. After 1 month, they did not beg. 2 months, they did not beg. You give them salary, they did not beg. Narcissists are waiting. Maybe you will beg them.
Narcissists are
see that you did not beg them for.
Narcissists are intentionally waiting. She didn't have the word intentional. I help her add it. They're intentionally waiting for 3 months so that they can cook you very well, so you can come and beg. Okay.
They come to you. So you leave 1 month does not mean it's over. You leave 2 months.
That's one form of it. So you can come and beg. Sometimes they will come and beg you. Sometimes they will beg other people to come and beg you. What are those signs of narcissism?
Does not mean it's over. Sometimes narcissists will leave you 2 years, 3 years, and they will try to come back. So don't fall for it. Don't say because they don't beg. That's the reason why some people they hoover some people back. Sometimes I see.
All right. Somebody said no sorry in narcissist diary. They either explain or you will also think you are at fault and say sorry. See, that's that person's relationship they are projecting. Somebody said very true. Somebody said there's a whole lie. They're a whole lie, sister. Yes, they beg. Somebody said exactly. For the beginning, they would not, but later they do, as my own experience. At least this person is able to say that's my own experience. I've been healing for several months, and now he has been starting to beg. Action, not for the fall again. Them trap. Oh, I don't know what that means, but never mind that somebody like felt like, you know what, How did I lose that woman, that good woman, or a good husband? I'm going to tender a heartfelt apology and then work on myself. No, that's not possible. As far as students of narcissism are concerned, all that is not possible. Just cancel that shit. Cancel it. You're very on point. They beg and apologize, but they will redo the shaggy again. He hoovered me back. He hoovered me after 7 years. Sick people. Okay. Never mind that I decided to go back to that person. He hoovered me. It was his fault. I'm the victim. She is the offender. Wait, she's the offender? Yes. There are men that are out here that are like fervent students of narcissism. Don't get it twisted. We not think now monopolize this stuff. Anyway. We're back. Oh. We're back. I have a lot to share with you today. We're 1 hour and 10 minutes into the coaching session. I guess that's what this is gonna be, because honestly, I just couldn't ignore the topic anymore. If you're a content creator and you're trying to become a content creator or relationship, I have 2 secrets for you if you want to blow. Why do you want me to play? I have to only super chats make me play portable now. Unless you want me to play which one? I think the one. Okay, I know the one you're talking about.
You doing what?
No, not that one. Anyone. But the point I'm making here, I did that for you, Bumi. There's a lot that we need to talk about for the rest of the show. I won't take call-ins today. I just want to share my own thoughts about this. Obviously, I am a student of this. Obviously, I coach people around this. Maybe not so obvious, but there's a link in the description. I'll give you all that stuff once we're done. Okay, but there's a link in the description. If you're looking for my personal help, the prerequisite is the 72 minutes class that you have to go through first. All right, and then you register for it, and then you show up and attend the whole 72 minutes class. It's a prerequisite, no exceptions. All right, but let's talk about the narcissist and the victims, and let's talk about the next segment here. I want to talk about the 18 signs. I'm also going to give you the beliefs that I want us to assess together if they are true or false. You guys will get to participate if you want to, and then I'll give you the four main problems here, the actual main problem that you should tackle, and not the crazy ass 18 signs I'm about to give you. The signs I'm going to give you, they are everywhere. The devil has more than enough examples of these signs for you, and it's super easy for you to call your partner a narcissist. I don't care how perfect your relationship is. There's more than enough reasons to call your partner a narcissist. Okay, if you're a content creator around relationships, I have 2 secrets for you. If you want to blow up a channel very fast, talk about these 2 things. Talk about 1, you're la Delce and Justin. That's 1 secret. The second secret is just talk about narcissism all day long. Your channel will blow up. Okay, they'll give you free super chats everywhere. Everybody will sign up to try to solve a problem that they don't ever identify, because it's only one problem, which is narcissism, right? But yeah, I want to say thank you to Natu. Thank you. We're gonna dance and then we'll move on to the next segment. All right, thank you for that, Natsu. I appreciate the $10 super chat. So Blossom D John says, I like that, Ola. You say sometimes our words are not our bond. Like you say, talk is cheap. Yeah, that's, not to negate timeless phrase that our words are bond, but yeah, actions. Look at their actions. Bro Patrick, we have women too that have the narcissist. We learn from each other. Oh yeah, because Uncle Patrick said something I didn't speak to actually. He said men need a forum where a professional psychologist or a counselor will tell us who a narcissist is. Wala. Where are my sound bites now? I don't know why they are hiding. You seem you have to keep hiding my stuff.
Nigeria don't report, so how you go?
All right. Ola, spill the tea for future content creators on relationship. 1, Yuela Doche. 2, narcissism. Talk about those 2 things and you'll blow. That's all. Very easy. If you can talk about it forever. So let's see. I'll be right back. Let's get into the main part of this class.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, so 18 narcissistic traits, overlapping confusions that can overlap with the common solution, boundaries, and self-love, cycle of confusion. So I'm just gonna speed through it. I'm sharing this with you so you can see that, these are the signs, the most popular signs, consolidated, of course, that I've been collecting too for a long time. Why are you collecting it a lot? Because I have to be a student of the game if I'm going to teach this stuff. So, but this is a consolidated version of it. Excessive need for admiration. This is one of 18. Excessive need for admiration. Somebody constantly seeking validation, attention, and praise from you and others. That sounds like all of social media, but let's just keep it moving, shall we? Lack of empathy, difficulty understanding or caring about your feelings, needs, or boundaries. That sounds like social media too, but lack of empathy. All these signs are real, but they are traits, right? Like I said, we all have narcissistic traits in us. The issue is when it's chronic, or they can identify a couple of them in you, and in fact, you are victimizing a person or even yourself by way of a relationship, right? But these are all the signs that people will see just one of them, they run. They call their partner a narcissist. Number 3, manipulation and control, of course, using emotional tactics like guilt tripping, gaslighting, your favorite word, or coercion to get their way, right? Including when you are just good old negotiations, like, hey, take the kids tomorrow. No, I take the kids tomorrow. I'll go do my pedicure today. Okay, let's work it out. No, why does it always have to be your way? It's your way or the highway. There's problems. There's wahala. Let's keep going. All right, so that's 1. That's 2. We're number 3. Number 4. 4 of 18 signs that I've identified, okay, as the most popular signs. These are also real signs. I want to be clear about that. But these are the things. See, just because you know the theory of this stuff doesn't mean you truly understand it. That's really the point I'm driving home with today's session, okay? Love bombing, okay? Love bombing and idealization. Overwhelming affection and attention at the start to gain control, followed by devaluation. So your girl is in love with you. She's all over you. In fact, the first time you wanted to travel, she started missing you already and she started crying. But then you can remember about 2 days ago, she was giving you that toxic vibe and you're already feeling smothered, right? But then she never lets you have your way. What's your way exactly? Well, she's also disrespectful when you guys get into an argument. Okay, this is easy, But then the following day, she buys you a gift, a very nice cologne that cost 375 $100. So now you feel difficult. You feel a sense of you can't leave her, right? Again, it's a real sign. Nonetheless, if this is the only sign you are seeing, maybe not so soon, maybe not so quick, right? Let's look at other signs. Okay, number 5, devaluation and discard. When they're upset, the first thing they want to do is say things to you that will make you feel less than valuable. Okay. What did Bumi say? Paned. What did Paned do to you now? Lord help us. Anyway, the first thing they want to say, they say things to you that will make you feel less valuable than yourself, particularly things that has to do with if you're no longer with them. How can you possibly be valuable with them, right? Doesn't make any sense to them. So, of course. So what do you guys think about those 5 signs already? Can you guys relate? It's a jump question, I know, but can you relate already? There's some more signs. Number 5. Let's go to number 6. Sorry, that was number 5 we just covered. Number 6, gaslighting, making you question your own perception of events. Like you knew what happened yesterday. You knew in your heart of hearts. You have no facts. You don't have any evidence. No evidence whatsoever. But they're making you feel like a fool. Please. Right? Yeah. Yeah. It must mean that you are probably living with a narcissist. Hey, it's just 1 out of 18 chances that you're living with a narcissist. It's possible. Let's not cap. Okay? Let's not cap. But these are the signs you will see out there. Any one of these signs is no good enough. Sign number 7, blaming and deflecting responsibility, right? Shifting blame onto you and others, never accepting accountability for their actions. Well, what I actually teach here is not that. I don't teach. I talk about blame, but more so as an anti-seductive thing, not for you to identify. It's an anti-seductive for your own good. Like if you have a tendency to look for who's to blame, there's a good chance that you don't even know how to woo anybody. Okay? To get what you want. There's a good chance that you're not having the good experience that you've always dreamed about or seen in all those Nickelodeon, and what do you call it? What's the name of the other network? The Nollywood stories, right? Number 8. Emotional unavailability, physically present but emotionally distant or disconnected, avoiding deep emotional intimacy. Never mind that, it's just a moment we're out of love, I can't stand her right now because I don't know, maybe not because of her, but maybe I'm going through something at work, or maybe she's been annoying for the last 2 hours. I can't stand her. Maybe it's not really about, maybe it's me, it's not you, never mind all of that. This is a sign of that you're living with a narcissistic person. Sign number 9. Did I skip anything? I hope I didn't skip anything. Sign number 9, jealousy and possessiveness. Okay, now all these things can fall in any, they're going to happen in every relationship. I hate to tell you like this. Any single one of these things, you're gonna have moments that you feel like these are your reality. And what do? You don't even listen to the rest of the video. You just say, that's what I'm going through. That's what it is, Charlie. Let's call a spade a spade. Number 10, entitlement, expecting special treatment as though their needs and desires are more important than yours. Wala. Bumi said, no, I can't relate, to be honest. I'm happy for you. But you think somebody told you this sign. These are the signs on the internet, isn't it? Right? All right. So that's number 10. We just covered number 10 right there. What else? Let's have it. Number 11. Exploiting your vulnerabilities. Okay. like what are my, so if you're going to assess this, like if we're going to actually assess this, because what's the first step in active listening, right? Assessing some kind of event is going on, is triggering you, trigger word trigger, is triggering you, is making you feel some type of way. And what's the first thing you should do? Assess the situation, right? Or somebody said, well, if they're exploiting your vulnerabilities, what should be the first thing? Well, what is the meaning of vulnerability? What is vulnerability to me? What are my vulnerability? Those are things that would take a lot of patience for you to identify. But do people have the patience to identify what their vulnerabilities are? No. If it aligns with how they feel, it aligns with how they feel. It is what it is. It is what it is. They're just going to be like, you know what? I'm with the narcissist. Okay. Those are the signs of a narcissist. Okay. Here's the thing. This is just a narcissistic trait. Okay. You need more than that to really diagnose a person. I needed to say that before I move any further. Okay, you need a little bit more than that in order to diagnose a person. Let's move on to number 12. Okay, number 12, inconsistent affection. The men are probably related with this one, right? Inconsistent affection, alternating between excessive affection and emotional coldness, creating confusion and instability. You just don't know what she wants. She seems like she never knows what she wants. She's got to be a narcissist. There's no way that woman, the mother of my 3 kids, is not that she's not a narcissist. It's not possible, right? Same behavior. Okay. Number 13. Let's move on to number 13. Love withdrawal. Men can probably relate with this more so too, right? Probably mostly men, right? Right? Am I lying? Love withdrawal, withholding affection or intimacy as a form of punishment. She's punishing you with the kpekus. She must be a narcissist. Is it possible? Yes. Is she a narcissist? Can you diagnose her? No, you can't. Okay? You can't, because there's so many events in life that can put her in that position to make her look like your enemy. You know, a person that's withholding the kpekus from you, it will obviously feel like that's your enemy. It's like, are you an enemy of progress? Do you want me to go to work and be cranky all day today? What is wrong with this woman? You know, it's been 2 weeks. Wait, it's been 1 month. Wait, it's been 8 years. Is she a narcissist? At 8 years or more, even me, I don't know what to say at that point. 8 years is a long time, right? But I still want to see a couple of other signs here. I need you to tell me the rest of your story. No, never mind me. I need you to talk to a mental health professional, right? I need you to talk to what do you call them? A licensed therapist, okay? Before you diagnose that person, okay? But you know it's okay for you to leave that relationship, right? You know you can still love them. Anyway, let's continue. Number 14, invalidating your feelings, dismissing, ridiculing, or belittling your emotions, making you feel irrational or overreacting, aka gaslighting. Listen, we might actually be talking about the same thing in about 50,000 different ways. Okay? Don't confuse yourself. You're human beings. Sometimes somebody already called you a narcissist because you looked at this, you know in your heart of heart you've actually exuded 2 or 3 of these behaviors. But of course it's you, so holding yourself accountable, it's probably problems. Anyway, number 15. What is number 15? Narcissistic rage, explosive outburst. Outbursts. I was watching Charles, the journalist Charles on Arise News TV, and he went it was talking about Madam Obi and the other guy that was angry on TV yesterday. It was like the outburst. It's like, wait, wow. Explosive outbursts of anger when they feel disrespected, criticized, or slighted, often disproportionate to the situation. This sounds like Nwa Boyi, that's his name. That's what he did yesterday, right? Can I diagnose him with narcissist behavior? No, I can't. I'm not allowed to. Okay. Is he possibly a narcissist? Yes. The word possibly, right? Is that a fact? No, it is not. Okay. If that person is your husband, should you go home and call him a narcissist? That's probably a bad idea, don't you think? That's probably a bad idea, right? All right. Number 16. Let's move on to number 16, shall we? Number 16 says using you as a source of supply. Keyword supply. Relying on you and others for constant attention, admiration, validation. All I had to say was supply. If you're a student of narcissism, you already know what I mean. All right. But yes, this is a big deal. A person keeps feeding off of you. Well, never mind that people will continue their bad behavior, cheating, stealing, lying, indirectly cheating, stealing, and lying when you incentivize them with your presence, with your enablement, right? With you're supplying them, aka you're supplying them. Number 17, let's move on to number 17. Another buzzword, another buzzword. Triangulation. You heard one of those ladies talk about triangulation earlier on, right? Triangulation, comparing you to others. To me, these are all anti-seductive behavior. It's no wonder that you don't feel safe, secure, you don't feel attracted to this person. You feel like you should leave them, right? I think that should more so be your angle. They don't have the skills. They don't know that they're doing this to you. That should more so be the angle. But you know what? That's not going to sound like they're your enemy. So it will make you feel better if it sounds, at least for a few minutes, that they are your enemy. So that you can feel validated. But what do you do to enemies? You're supposed to get rid of enemies. But there's a problem. You're not going to get rid of this enemy. That creates confusion, don't you think? That's the internal struggle I was talking about. That's problematic. So it creates a short-term solution for you. You feel better that you're not crazy, but ultimately it doesn't really provide a lasting solution. These are the issues I'm talking about. Last but not least, we have 18 of 18. Chronic dissatisfaction and perfectionism. There's nothing you do. Nothing is ever enough for them. And they are constantly seeking perfection, making you feel inadequate. This is actually the dilemma of many men. Okay? They tend to be confused. They don't know what they can possibly do to ever make her happy. Well, it tells me that you don't have seduction skills, if anything. But we're talking about narcissism today, right? Nothing ever makes her happy. It tells me that you probably have terrible listening skills. Probably, okay? If you're dealing with a human being that they actually have something that they care about, then all you have to do is listen long enough. You have to listen attentively enough, listen long enough, and then make them feel safe that in fact they can achieve and accomplish whatever that is in your presence with you around. But that's a long process. You'll rather call them a narcissist because they're never satisfied with whatever you do, right? Could it be one of the many things they will find out in the assessment of psychologists to actually officially call them a narcissist? Yes. But what I'm telling you is that this is probably not going to help you, because you married that person once upon a time when you thought they were kind, they were nice, they did everything for you. But now today, somebody has helped you turn it to they were love bombing you all along. They never cared about you. Those are the 18 narcissistic traits, overlapping confusions that can overlap with the common solution. What's the solution? Boundaries and self-love. Because all of the 18 traits that I've aligned out for you, if somebody is looking at you, your partner has been looking at you for the past 6 months as you are the narcissist, right? And they set boundaries in place, right? The way they set the boundaries, the way you are interpreting it is all of these 18 signs or 18 traits, right? And there's confusion. Now you're seeing them as the narcissist, whereas they're actually setting boundaries and they're trying to protect themselves from you. You never thought of it that way, right? No, why not? Why should you think of it that way when you are more important? Wait, who is more important? I'm confused. One of the signs is sense of grandiose, right? A sense of better self-importance than your partner. Confusion. All right. So those are the 18 signs. I want to go ahead and move forward into the next segment in this topic. I just want you to really, if you're going to discuss this topic, make sure you're telling the rest of the story, okay? And I want you to focus on your own side of the story, not the other side of the story. I actually don't care. Trust me, we can extract the truth from your own side of the story, okay? This is not the court of law where we need absolute evidence and facts and witnesses. No, we don't need all of that, okay? You will tell on yourself anyway. You will tell us the truth, okay? If somebody is professional enough, they know what they're doing, you will tell them the truth. Maybe not always directly, but you will tell on yourself. All you have to do is focus on your own side of the story and be authentic. Be honest with yourself, not with me. Just be honest with yourself, you know, and then you might just find that this 18 narcissistic traits is probably not your main issue. But I'm going to get to the other 4 main issues here in a second. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right. I want to talk about 11 narcissism myths you've been told. I just want you to tell me a true or a false in the chat, but this is what's on social media, okay? They don't always say this in those exact words. The other 18 signs that I covered in the previous segment is those are very close to the exact words that people use. I probably didn't cover over and a few other words, but you already get the gist. I mean, listen, there are so many words that they can use: needy, mirroring you, manipulation. We talked about that, control, all this kind of stuff. So I probably only covered maybe half of them. Okay, some of the buzzwords that you're more familiar with that are creating more problems for you because they distract you from the main issues. But another thing that really distracts you from the main issue is how you interpret those things, and they've created this myth, if you will, or belief systems that I want us to assess together to see where you are in understanding this. See, everybody will enter a crisis in their relationship. If we're talking about long-term relationship at all, or we're talking about marriage especially, you're going to enter a space of conflict, internal conflict, personal conflict, actual conflict between you and a partner that will make you question your own sense of self, make you question. This is why, it's very easy to call a person a narcissist. But those fights, those arguments can really feel that strong, where you really feel like, I'm not crazy, So I understand. So we're going to talk about this 11 myths, and then we'll take it from there. First one of 11. They are intentional. They deliberately seek to harm or manipulate you. True or false? Okay, I'll give you guys 1 minute to answer. And if I don't get an answer, then I'll talk about it. Not 1 minute. I'll give you a couple of minutes, actually. Maybe 1 minute, maybe not. Okay. Yes, so they are deliberately seeking to harm or manipulate you. They are intentional. True or false? Put the answer in the chat or in the comments later on if you're watching this as a replay. Let's engage. True or false? Let's keep it a yes or no. Feel free to add explanation if you need explanation. Well, feel free to add explanation. They are narcissists. I'm talking about narcissists, right? Narcissists are intentional and they deliberately want to hurt you. True or false? I'll give it maybe 3 minutes, so that because I know there's a delay between you and I. Uh-oh. Let's see. Anyone? We'll go. We're auctioning now. True or false? Narcissists are intentional. They deliberately seek to harm or manipulate their victims. True or false? True or false? Let's see. Let's have it. Bumi says false. Sunshine says false. Okay. These are going to be naturally your interpretation after going through 18 or more signs on the internet, including signs like they beg or they don't beg. What's the other signs, that crazy signs that we saw on TikTok earlier on? Yes, I agree with you guys. It's false. Okay. A lot of times these people are operating from a place of their own personal hurt. Now here's where the confusion comes in. People think, oh well, if it's not their fault, it must be my fault. No, it is not your fault, and it is not your job to either diagnose or fix a narcissist. If you truly feel that you're dealing with a narcissist, the first step is to remove yourself, remove your emotions from engaging at that level. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself, at least in the long term, by becoming obsessed about the game plan of a narcissist because your mindset tell you that they are being intentional. That is usually false. Okay. If a person is being intentionally narcissistic, you're probably not dealing with a narcissist. Okay. You're probably not dealing with a narcissist. You're dealing with something even worse. You're probably dealing with self-sabotage, or somebody who is outrightly evil, or maybe Stockholm syndrome, something, in my opinion, something a lot more deeper than just some social media definitions of narcissism. Number 2, let's go for this one. They hate you. They don't care about you or your well-being. True or false? Let's go for it. True or false? They hate you. They don't care about your well-being. True or false? I'm waiting for your answer patiently. Waiting patiently for your answer. They hate you. They don't care about you or your well-being. The narcissist husband of yours, narcissist wife of yours, hates you. They don't care about you or your well-being. After listening to so many TikTok videos, so many psychologists some of them are real psychologists, been doing it for years, but sometimes you just listen to the 7 minutes video. That doesn't really give you full context. Okay. That only relates with your pain, right? They hate you. They don't care about you or your well-being. True or false? Is this a myth or is the truth? Why y'all say? They hate you. They don't care about you or your well-being. I know there's more than a minute latency between us, so I'm waiting a couple more minutes. All right, so let's see. Number 2, we're at number 2. They hate you. They don't care about your well-being or it's false. Okay, it's false. Okay, if we're generalizing, it has to be false. Now, your feelings are valid. You will go through a feeling, a real life feeling that will make you feel like this person hates you. Those feelings are valid. Those feelings will make you feel unsafe, which means you'll probably operate from a place of defensiveness all the time. You will feel like everything is an attack. You feel like they are busy cooking how they're going to attack you again after every other hour. Those feelings are valid. So it makes sense that you are not at rest in that relationship. But do they hate you? It's a strong word. It's no wonder why you feel so strongly that you shouldn't be in that relationship if you're going through this kind of stuff. It's no wonder why you can't wait to call them the name, a narcissist. So I get it. But the reality is that it's a false belief. It's false. It's myth. It's a myth. I see Bumi says false. Sunshine says it depends. Yes, depends will make it false, right? Because it's not always true. That makes it false. It's like 1 multiplied by 0. That will be 0, right? The 1 is now cancelled out. So when we say depends, that means you need to assess your situation. Tell us the rest of your story. Don't run around social media trying to teach people that have more experience than you to call their husband or their wife narcissist. You're probably creating more damages than you realize. Okay, I know it's not your responsibility. They're adults. They should be taking care of themselves. But I'm just saying, if you care at all, maybe you should slow down on that obsession. Number 3, comma, we get them. True or false? Comma, we get them. Nollywood fans are like, Ola, stray bullets, why are you like this? No, I'm dead ass. Comma, we get them. They will face consequences for their actions without you needing to intervene. Okay, you don't have to do nothing. Just sit there in that funky ass relationship, and comma will finally come and get them, because after all, they are they hate you, right? All this crazy stuff, right? I'm waiting for you guys take on this one. True or false? Comma will get them. Comma is a bitch. To get them. These evil people, evil narcissists who is just out to hurt you. Never mind that you had 7 kids for them. They just want to hurt you. Is that possible? No, we're not talking about possibility. We're talking about true or false. We're going to go with true or false first. True or false? Comma, we get them. Let me come to you guys answer already. So comma will get them. They will face consequences without your intervention. False. False. Comma fire. No. It's false. It's absolutely false. If you have to choose one between true or false, it's false. People will not change unless you change. This has nothing to do with narcissism or the fact that your wife or your husband is a narcissist. People will only change if it means running away from pain or running towards pleasure for them. Okay, so are you representing pleasure for them in the place where you're comfortable, where you're sitting there? Do you know sometimes you call people narcissists? That's actually their supply. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah. It's one of, because they're so used to you calling them. It's not the first time you will call them names, by the way. They're so used to you calling them names. So it's like, the mannerless person, I'm here too for the same reasons, for our children, right? So it's absolutely false. There's no karma coming from anywhere if you don't do something about your situation that we know that you don't like. You have told us so many times in so many languages on this internet, or also just internet, they call it. You've told us that you're probably not going to do something about it, right? But nothing is going to change either. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Number 4, belief or myth. They are inherently evil. They are bad or malicious by nature. Narcissists are inherently evil. They are bad and malicious by nature. Let's go for it. True or false? True or false? It might seem like we're giving the answers away already, but not really. I promise you. Not really. We're not giving the answers away. I want you to really think about it and give me your honest truth. Don't give the mirror. Okay? If you're the actual person going through this, there's a good chance you're not engaged in this conversation in the chat. Answer the mirror. Answer the mirror. They are inherently evil. They are bad or malicious by nature. These people were sent from the Mami waters inside of the from the, what do you call them? They're evil spirits from the waters, you know, familiar spirits from your village. They're evil. They're here to hurt you, you know. True or false? All right. The answer is false. Okay, it's false. How do I know it's false? Because I know that you probably have 3 of those 18 signs. I'm just being generous. You have 3 of those 18 signs I shared, and you're probably not going to call yourself evil. But if you have 3 of those signs, somebody's going to feel that sense of evil. They're going to feel like, why did you wait for so long? You pretended to me that you were such a good person when I married you, and now you came into this marriage and you're punishing me with sex, and then you will make me come to you and beg you for kwekus at night. But you're a narcissist. See, women think they can monopolize this narcissism thing, right? On the internet, at least. But I'm telling you, men are catching up. Of course, it's terrible, because that's the worst thing I want them to do, is catch up with this thing. But they are, and they are actually the first to call you a narcissist now. They'll beat you to it before you catch up. Just, if not 10,000 times, actually 10,000 times horrible, because women follow men, so it's just bad, you know. So it is false, you know. If you couldn't call yourself evil, there's no way I'm going to accept that that's true, that narcissists are just inherently evil. They are bad or malicious. Why am I going through this with you? Because hopefully your mindset is shifting. This your obsession with this topic of a narcissism thing. Maybe I can help shift your mindset a little bit, that these are not the real issues. You're solving the wrong problem. Okay? Is it helpful to know these things? Only to an extent. Everything is a double-edged sword. Every solution creates problems. I want you to pay attention to that and start having some self-awareness around this kind of stuff. Okay? Bumi say false, sir. Sunshine say false. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. Listen, you're going to again go through that feeling that you just feel like this person is just evil, like they were sent from the unders of, I forgot the languages. This languages you used to use that we pray, we do night video over. You know, all from the underneath the evil. You know, you fight not the forces of, you don't fight flesh, you fight the principalities, right? This is a person, this is a representation of principalities in your life. So to me, it makes sense that you will feel like this person is evil. But I want you to snatch yourself and empower yourself starting today. Okay, so let's move on to number 5. We're now on 5 of 11 narcissism myths you've been told, and I'm asking you if they are true or false. Most of this has been false, so maybe there's a pattern here. I don't know, but maybe we can still be wrong here, right? For somebody's experience, I guarantee you we're wrong by saying this is all false, because it will come off as we're invalidating their feelings, right? But we have a mission here. And we must stay zoned in. Number 5, only men. Uncle Patrick, where are you, sir? You mentioned this earlier on. Only men are narcissists. Narcissism is a trait found only in men. True or false? I'll wait. I'll wait. Drum roll. Uncle Patrick said, principality and spiritual wickedness in high places. Yes, sir. That's the word I was looking for. See, I disconnect from anything that doesn't serve me. So, yeah. Only men are narcissists. Narcissism is a trait found only in men. What y'all say? What do you guys say? Is this true or false? I'm waiting. Sunshine already say false. Oga, Tobi. Yeah. Is it false? True or false? True or false? Only men are narcissists. We're just going by 2025 and the popularity of this topic on the internet. To me, if I was a complete layman and I'm listening and I'm watching this and I'm looking at the comment sessions, of most people touching on this topic, it seems like it's only men. It just seems like it's only men, you know. But let me see what you guys are saying. Okupati say absolutely false. Bumi say because I am a woman, I will say true.
Are you playing? What type of playing is this? This is playing. Why
I don't know why you're doing that. I don't know. I don't know. You're gaslighting us, okay? You're gaslighting us, okay? You're gaslighting us, and I think you are intentionally doing this. You're gonna have to explain it, Sha. Explain it to me. What do you mean?
Explain. Because no evidence.
You need evidence. You don't need to explain anymore. Just give me evidence, okay? Only men are narcissists is absolutely false. Absolutely false. I don't care what you felt, you were wrong. Everybody that made you feel like men are narcissists, men are evil, men are trash, you can flip that man to women too, okay? Whatever generalizations you have about women, all of you are wrong, okay? Let's move on to number 6. Narcissists can't change. They are incapable of growth and self-awareness. Narcissists can't change. They are incapable of growth and self-awareness. True or false? True or false? Waiting. And then you know shele gogono. It's in the happen. So same shape. It's in the apple. Okay, all right, we'll take care of you. This thing keep popping up on my screen. Trying to see. There's a video I'm looking for that I think we can find easily. There's okay. Let me see this video. Okay, I found a good video. True or false? Narcissists can't change. They are absolutely, okay, not absolutely. They are incapable of growth or self-awareness. Number 6, true or false? Let me see what you guys say. Oh. False again. Depends on circumstances. All right. Depends means false in my books because we're generalizing just for the sake of renewing our mindset around this topic. Okay. Narcissists can't change. I'm gonna play this video of Nick Cannon. I mentioned it earlier on, but I'm gonna play this video and then let's hear it.
Diagnosed with a narcissistic
You think clinically diagnosed with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I did get diagnosed with it, because I have no problem with it, it's a spectrum. You know what I mean? And I think even it starts off with like confidence, overconfident, arrogance, and then that's when you step into the space of narcissism. And in that, there's markers. And when someone has like extreme narcissistic behavior disorder, it has things like the lack of empathy, rage, all of those things. I don't have those. Like
I was just going to ask you, how many of those symptoms do you identify with?
Yeah. Like I identify with all of them except for those two.
Except for the rage and the.
Yeah, I have no rage, and I have, I'm very empathetic.
Got it.
All right. So what did he say? It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. And I found this and I thought I'll share this. It's from an at Green Tara Radical Compassion. Hero Tyrant. Obviously you can see that red. It's pretty red on that side, right? But it's a spectrum. They're saying it's a spectrum. Let me read this out. This is interesting. Healthy, self-ego, protective, motivating, providing, fierce, self-compassion. Most of your politicians are narcissists. Do I need to tell you that? Okay, they have chronic narcissist trait, as you say. Okay, more more politically correct on that. People pleaser, right? There's a people pleaser here. People pleaser, believe it or not. But I told you guys here before. I said Mr. Nice Guys is a terrible thing. That's not what you want. I like nice, kind people. I said, chill. Okay, because they can show you, they can give you what you want, and it can help end up hurting you in the nearest future, right? And then sycophant, increase. Okay, let's look at this line. Say increased fear, increased toxicity, decreased empathy, decreased self, going in that direction. Tyrants, obviously your worst politician is going to be that. Unhealthy self-ego, defensive, bullying. What happened to Natasha? Bullying. Everybody say, well, she deserves it. No, it doesn't give you the right to bully a person or bully all of us into submission about this stupid topic. Bullying, othering, malignant toxicity. How about that, guys? How's that? It's a spectrum. If it's a spectrum, could you possibly fall somewhere? You as an individual, could you fall somewhere in that category somewhere? But why did I play that video? I played that video because of Nick Cannon, right? If he has self-awareness already, he's already not self-diagnosed. He actually got a diagnosis, and he also explained it. Can he change? Can he show up as change? Can he present as an experience that looks like change to you in your relationship? I tell you, most of the people talking about this topic, they have a tendency to not give you solution. Okay, I mean, at least not until you pay them some good money. They will wait until you pay them good money, and then they might give you solution at that point in time. I don't think there's a need for me to wait till you pay me for you. I can give you all the solution. The only thing I don't know is your full story. That's the only thing I can't help you with on this YouTube channel. But I'll give you enough examples, so that maybe you can self-reflect and maybe you can self-heal. I'm not going to say that's not possible. It's actually very possible. Okay. But Uncle Patrick said false. That's why we have correction centers. Sunshine says interesting. Didn't know people pleasers was on the spectrum. Oh, you never knew that. Well, you learn every day. Let's move on to number 7. This is supposed to be 11. I didn't know it was going to take this long, but this is a good session, so let's do it. Number 7. Narcissists are always manipulative or malicious. All their actions are done with bad intentions. Okay, this one is tricky. Okay, but I want you to give it a shot. Narcissists are always manipulative or malicious. All their actions are done with bad intentions. Is that true? True or false? True or false? True or false? This one is a tricky one. Trust me. So let's have your opinion on this. Your opinion is a function of everything you know from before today, so it's okay to have an opinion. It's like the asshole. We all have one. It's perfectly fine to have an opinion. Okay. I'm waiting for your answers. I think we're 7 down. We're going for 11. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let me see what you guys have. Sunshine said not true. Uncle Patrick said false. Always make it false. Okay. So the correct answer for all of this, the actual correct answer for all of it is depends, right? Because obviously some of these things, again, it falls on spectrum. It falls on one of the 18 traits that are identified in the earlier segment. Or segment. You guys have corrected me so much on that. It's Baraku. I will never correct segment or segments, but just bear with me, okay? So, but the real answer to any of the 11, I'm going to tell you right now, is actually depends. That's the real answer. But if I have to choose, if I have to go with a binary answer, which is what social media likes, social media era, where everybody just knows it all, right? then it has to be a false. If I have to fall on any one of the sides, it has to be false, because the reality is that these are just traits. And if you have any level of self-care, self-love, there's somebody on that other side that's going to receive it as a weapon. They feel it as an attack. So they are calling you a narcissist. They might beat you to it and call you a narcissist because you decided to take care of yourself. You know, it is what it is, right? So with that being said, yeah, it's definitely, it's not necessarily true, right? It's more so false. It's more so on the side of false, because narcissists, yes, they can exhibit manipulative behavior. Not all of the actions are inherently malicious. Like I said earlier on, I said sometimes this is just their way of coping. It's not always born of bad intentions. So if you know that, it helps you at least detach from the idea that this is your enemy, right? It helps you say, okay, maybe it helps you ask more questions, as opposed to closed-mindedness, as opposed to conclusive, judgmental, like coming from a very conclusive or judgmental standpoint, which, by the way, makes you fall on the more so on the red side of the spectrum, right? So when you're pointing fingers, always remember 3 of them are pointing at you. So it's even if you're just trying to protect yourself, when you are judgmental, you are probably going to hurt yourself. Let me read this stuff here. It says sometimes it's more about their own insecurities and the way they perceive the world, rather than intentionally trying to harm others. What brings up this topic for you? This is the question for you. What brings you into this conversation is more so, is closer to the truth than any of these terminologies. Okay, so that's that. Now that's number 7. Let's move on to number 8. You can fix them with love or patience. Your love and understanding will change their behavior. True or false? True or false, guys? Let's have it. Let me have your opinion on this. True or false? It's tricky. It's getting closer and closer on the spectrum of tricky to trickier and trickiest. And yeah, you can fix them with love and patience. Yeah. True or false? True or false, guys? Let's have it. Let's see how we do it. Let's see. Sunshine say false. Latu say hi after like 50 million years. Latu, welcome, Latu. Good to see you. Uncle Patrick says false. You can fix them. You can't. Okay, I knew you meant can't. You can't fix them by yourself. You can't fix them by yourself. Yeah. See, this is where it gets tricky when people listen to half-ass of what I have to say about this topic. If you don't listen to me long enough, you're gonna make a crazy ass assumption, which makes that about you, not about me. That's your fault. That you didn't listen to all of the 2,000 videos I've done on this channel. That's your fault. Okay. But I also know that life is busy. Okay. I will never ask you. Write this down in your books, no matter what it looks like. If you look like, oh, Ola only speak for women, and you should fix yourself as a man, write this down. I will never ask you to fix a woman. I will ask you always to fix that your mouth that you used to make assumption about me. Fix yourself first. Fix yourself first. If that sounds like me exonerating other human beings, that's your fault, because that's a comprehension issue. Okay, that's not my fault. That's on you. But I will always ask you 100% of the time, you remove the speck in your own eyes first. I will always ask you for that. See, I know self-accountability is one of the hardest things for us to do, but I will always, if it sounds like I'm telling your husband or your wife to go free because they should sin no more, first of all, they are going to sin. Number 2, that's your own comprehension. What I will always ask you to do is fix yourself first. So the answer is false. The answer is false. Yes, Bumi. You can't fix other human beings. You can influence people. You cannot change other human beings. You can influence people. I know you don't want to hear that, but yes, you have the power to influence other people by way of your own behavior. That's the part that this narcissism gurus are not going to tell you. You do have the power to influence people. Is it going to take time? Yes. Is it a process? Yes. Is it a guarantee? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And should that be an expectation? Absolutely not. Because why do you have time to watch other people when you're busy working on becoming a better version of yourself? How would you have time for that anyway? I know you have time for it because you feel like the victim and you're watching them and children are involved and you have the urge to be monitoring, see if they change, if they change, if they change. I get it. It's natural, okay, for you to do that. But you need to push against that. You need to fight that self or that flesh that's making you monitoring how a person, how far on the spectrum of narcissism that person is. I know it's crazy to ask you to fix yourself when you have been the victim all along. It's almost like Ola is victim shaming, right? It's like it's the wildest thing ever. But I promise you, it's the closest you will get to happiness when you focus on yourself and stop trying to fix other people. The patience you give in a relationship is not for the other person, it's for yourself. I'm asking you to be patient with yourself. Don't feel the need to have a response to everything that feels like an attack. Don't feel the need to have answers to every questions in the world. That's arrogance. That's actually a narcissistic trait. Oh, you didn't see that coming, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Don't feel the need to be defensiveness. Defensive is actually on the red side of the spectrum. You know, you didn't know you're defending yourself. You're just defending yourself. What's the big deal, right? Right? Of course, you should defend yourself. Naturally, you should defend yourself. But it's about how you defend yourself. If you are defensive, it's different from defending yourself. Defending yourself to an extent can make you become a defensive person, aka a person who is potentially bullying a partner in a relationship. You didn't see it that way. You're just trying to cope. But what about the other person? Like, okay, let's rewind. Let's go back. How do you change your experience? Start with self. Everything's self, power, social, seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence. It all starts with self. If you want to blame, don't do blame. Blame is anti-seductive and guilt. Same thing. Don't use blame. But self-accountability is empowerment. It's self-empowerment. It's like asking, how could I be better? How can I attract better experience, right? That's what more so of what we're talking about here. And yes, if you're a victim enough, all of this, cancel it out. You remain a victim. Does that mean you are not a victim? No, it doesn't mean you are not a victim. It just means you can actually help stay a victim. Okay, you can actually continue to help yourself to stay in that funky zone, and that's not what we want. Okay, so I'm going to read this out to you. You cannot fix a narcissist with love, patience, or understanding. Narcissistic traits are deeply ingrained personality patterns. Patterns, not disorder. Patterns, often resistant to change. Change is inevitable, but everybody resists change because people are comfortable where they're comfortable, okay? Unless it means painful, or there's something more pleasurable on the other side. That's why the grass always seems greener on the other side. While love and patience are valuable in any relationship, they won't fundamentally, keyword fundamental, they won't fundamentally alter a narcissist's behavior unless they themselves acknowledge their issues and seek professional help. Well, here's the angle that you're going to come in now. Okay, can we get them to seek help? Yes, you can. But with that attitude, absolutely not. They're going to push back against, they're going to resist you. And rightfully so. What do I mean rightfully so? It's human behavior. They will resist you with everything they have. Okay? So trying, as actually one of the subjects in the relationship, try to heal a narcissist can lead to emotional exhaustion. Well, what do I mean by trying to heal a narcissist? I'm not calling your partner a narcissist. I'm saying you have decided to call them a narcissist already, right? So of course, you feel the need to heal them. Mrs. Healer. How do you start healing them? Call them a narcissist first. Let them acknowledge, accept first that you are manipulative, controlling, and then I will try to heal you. Or maybe that's the healing that we need. Okay. All right. They will continue their manipulative behavior because honestly, with that your attitude, you might actually be supplying them with more of what they need. Remember, they are also human beings. They might just, in a weird, twisted way, like the funk of that toxic behavior. I know we would never like to admit that people sometimes like their toxic behavior. How do I know? Because their actions speak louder than words. They don't do anything to change it. They don't effect anything to change it. Or just life, just at least we woke up, at least, keyword phrase, at least we thank God today, we woke up today. Or, that issue is in yesterday right now, even though that issue might repeat itself 2 weeks from now, every 2 or 3 weeks, it repeats itself. Eventually, you're raising kids that don't know how to function in real life and relationships, So, anyway. Let's move on to the next one. Uncle Patrick said, don't feel the need to have an answer or defending yourself in every situation. That's a big one. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9. They don't feel emotions or vulnerabilities. Let me repeat that. Narcissists don't feel emotions or have vulnerabilities. They are emotionless or invulnerable. True or false? I'll wait. True or false? Actually, we're just going to take our time. We'll take our time. True or false? They don't feel any emotions. These people are evil. They don't feel any emotions. True or false? I'll wait. Yep. We're at number 9 of 11. We're almost there. Number 9 of 11. Okay. True or false, guys? True or false? True or false? I know we have patterns now. It looks like all the answers are false. This one is too obvious. This one is too obvious, Joe. Joe. This one is too obvious. All right. So Latu says they have, I guess you're saying false. They have emotions, but do suppress it. Okay. All right. Uncle Patrick is false. Every human being has emotion, negative or positive. I agree, sir. Emotions. Human beings no be your mates. Emotions no be your mate. We all have emotions. We're emotional being, which is, by the way, part of the reasons why you should be empowered. Because if they have emotions, that means they have something they care about, even when they suppress it. There's a reason why they feel the need to put all this energy behind suppressing, pretending to be what they're not, right? See, now that's why you have to listen to beyond their words. You have to listen to where they're coming from. Don't just listen to their words, because active listening also involves listening to their words. You're going to mirror their words to get some clarity, right? But when you're open and don't make anything conclusive off of the actual words they're using, then you are able to ask more questions, open-ended questions. Sometimes it's not direct question at them, because they might read you, right? Remember, they're supposed to be the narcissist. They might read you for filth, and you might just get caught up in your emotions, and then it's basketballs. Sometimes you just ask that question. You go and ask the person in the mirror, say, what does this mean when the person said that? What is the best case scenario here with that thing that they said? What is the worst case scenario? See, if you go through this exercise, I'm telling you, this will take you no less than 3 hours. That's a lot of patience for yourself. Now you're learning. Okay? Now you're learning. You see what I'm saying? So it's very, very important to take your time in these conversations. Okay. Let me see here. Latu said, MOP, I believe their emotions depends on the level they have placed you. Bottom line is that they are emotional, right? They're emotional beings, because it's true or false. They don't feel emotions or have vulnerabilities. Do they ever get to a point where they have no emotions, or they have emotions? They might be suppressing it. What does it take to suppress an emotion? Energy. What does that create? A new set of emotion. Listen to what I just said carefully. When people suppress emotions, it creates new emotion. They don't become logical. They are all liars, okay? Like I always told you, anybody that say they are logical, mockery and them, they are liars, okay? They are emotional beings. If they are suppressing their emotions, they are creating another set of emotions, okay? Not just in themselves, but also in other people around them. They are also influencing you, okay? So they can influence you and get you reactive, get you to be defensive, right? Meaning you already felt attacked, and you just have to pay attention to those series, the sequence of events right there. And then we created another problem. You are overanalyzing the situation as opposed to, this doesn't have to be your problem. You don't have to fix this person. What do I need to do to reset myself? Self-awareness here, because you go into, I don't care if you're a professional in real life, you went through school for 8-9 years on becoming a psychologist. If you are actually one of the people in the situation, like as in you have your feelings involved, it doesn't matter here, okay? You're going to get caught up in emotions, and you're going to create bad emotions. You're going to overreact. It's going to come out all wrong, okay? The best thing, oftentimes, if it's that thick, is to back off of the situation. Back off. Heaven is not going to fall out of the skies. They have emotions. They are operating from a place of emotions. That tells you what? That tells you they're a normal human being. Do they need to be diagnosed? We don't know, but don't worry about that. You focus on yourself. What is it that you're doing to be feeding this situation? How are you fueling the fire without making it about, oh, somebody is victim shaming you? Maybe, okay? But if you're still listening, I'm sure that this is landing somewhere for you. Maybe you've spent about 15 years worrying about who is the narcissist. Every conversation, you just bring it, like, oh, it's a narcissist. Oh, it must be a narcissist. Even when somebody, even the way I'm creating this video right now, there's somebody who will say, oh, he must be a narcissist. That's how thick and how bad it has been. Do you understand me? So that's number 9. Number 10. Let's move on to number 10. Narcissists are always confident or happy. They are always self-assured or seem to be in control. Tricky. This one is tricky. This is tricky. So narcissists are always confident or happy. They're always self-assured. All right. I'll wait for you guys' answer. Confident people. Confident. You know that feeling where you go outside and your family, friends, they always think he's nice. He's a confident guy. Everybody adores him. But they have no idea what he's like inside the house. They don't know that he's been showing you shiggy. And then you're like, they're always confident. Always confident? Maybe that's what's making you question yourself too. You feel like, why can't you be confident like that? Forget all that. He made you feel that way. He made you feel that way. All right, so before we move on, before I come to that, actually, there's something I was supposed to read to you here. Let's see. All right, I'll come to the answers in a second. But let's go to number 9 real quick. Number 9, right? Number 9, they don't feel emotions or have vulnerabilities, right? All right, let me read this out to you out loud. Narcissists do have emotions and vulnerabilities, but they often suppress and mask them, right? Many narcissists actually have deep insecurities. Here you go. And a fragile self-esteem. Yeah, fragile. See, they didn't use low or high. Sometimes it's like high, sometimes it's like, bottom line is fragile. You never know what's about to happen to you, right? which is why they seek validation, control, and admiration. See, when somebody is sure of themselves. Now, let's move on to number 10. When somebody is sure of themselves or they have confidence, quote unquote confidence, they really shouldn't be seeking validation for you. Or outside of just normal, I like it when you make me feel good. I like it when you speak to how you trust me, you admire me as your husband. Of course, that feels good, right? But I'm talking from a place of neediness. So number 10 now, is it true or false? True or false? Narcissists are always confident or happy. And now to say a very big false. Occupied to say false. They are insecure, and that makes them a narcissist. Voila. Their inferiority makes them superficial, and they act all nice but not rooted. There's no root. It's not rooted. See, I told you, Mr. Nice Guys, this is, maybe we need to get this deep. Some people say, no, I want a nice guy. I say, yeah, you should want a nice guy. Of course, I want nice people around me too, but that's not the conversation. You missed it. You missed it. Go and read up on Mr. Nice Guy. They finished last. Why? Because they always lose. Okay, not come out, but they always lose. But that's another topic again. Let's move on to number 11 of 11, the finale. 11 of 11. Number 11, you have to stay in the relationship to protect the children. Leaving would harm the children, so you must endure. True or false? True or false? You're already married to them. Oh? So now you must stay in the relationship to protect the children ahead of their future. True or false? This is the finale of the 11 myth that a lot of people can create out of this topic. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my days. Anybody? And we go 1 or 2 or 3. Lots to say gigantic false. Okay, let's see here. I do think it's false too. It looks like all the answers are false. So ultimately, we have the right to call this false beliefs. We have the right to call this completely false. All of these are false beliefs. Hold on, shut up. All of these are false beliefs, false myth. We've basically demystified. Is that what the word is? We debunked all 11 narcissism myths you've been told. Okay, they're all false. Okay, but let me just say this to you. Okay, it is false because it's not always true. Okay, if first of all, self-work is how you're going to find. If you happen to, let's say in your wildest dream, you're married to Nick Cannon, diagnosed. Most of you are not married to a narcissist. That's the truth. Okay, if you're married to a person who is self-aware enough to have even received a diagnosis that they accepted, like Nick Cannon, right? There's a good chance you won't be having the experience you're having instead of relationship. The issue is not narcissism. The issue is lack of self-awareness, mostly on your part. Okay, because what it comes down to is, I'm not blaming you. It's not a blame thing. It's, I want you to empower yourself. There are more questions you need to ask. We need to get into your story, into your specific story, to see what's going on there. And social media advices, more likely it's not going to help you. Okay, it's not going to help you because it's social media. Okay, and yeah, some people literally will create a whole channel and yield to what they know is going to blow. I don't do that, obviously, but some people will yield to topics on a consistent basis, and because they know that's what you want to eat, they are supplying you. You being the narcissist, just in this context, I cannot diagnose this. I'm just telling you it's a spectrum. I'm just telling you that it's a very dicey topic. You have to be careful when you are consuming all this stuff on the internet, even stuff from the books, because a lot of time you are interpreting it with your own pain without the help of professionals. So you have to be careful. So it is false. Staying in a toxic relationship with a narcissist for children's sake can often do more harm than good. Obviously, we know the children should not be your sole reason why you should stay in any relationship. Can the children inspire you to seek the help that you need? Absolutely. See, the gurus will not tell you that part. Of course. Of course. They can inspire you to seek the help that you need. You cannot make that an absolute. Well, for my children, I'm just going to leave. Leave what? You don't even know what you're leaving. Can you run away from yourself? You can't run from your own shadow. It follows you everywhere you go. That's why you see some people jumping into a marriage, they create the same result 75% of the time. Second and third marriages. That's why, because they kept pointing fingers. They never really dealt with self, or starting with self. They never dealt with the issue starting with self. Okay, so children exposed to narcissistic behavior on a consistent basis, of course, will harm the children. Of course. Okay, even the traits will harm the children because they'll learn all the wrong things to do. Okay, so let me give you an example, right? What do you think is more damaging for kids? A toxic two-parent household or a peaceful single-parent home? The answer is obvious, right? It's peaceful single-parent household. But is that the end-all be-all answer? No, because it depends on who is asking that question. Some people are asking those questions to satisfy what they already feel. You need to get down to the root. Why are you asking the question? What do you mean? Because the obvious answer is right there. The healthy single parent household is better for the child. But does that solve your problem? Are you finally happy? There's a good chance that you're not. You're collecting good reasons to run away from your responsibility. What is your responsibility? Your own mental health, your own understanding of how these things works and how and why you end up in this place in the first place, right? You think you pointing fingers is going to solve it. It won't. There's 3 fingers pointing at you. At the very minimum, you want to assess how did you attract this situation in the first place so you don't repeat the same cycle. At the very minimum, you want to get to the bottom of that. All right. So, yes, so like to say, staying harm the kids. False. Staying will make it double jeopardy when kids are involved. You just nailed it. Getting into someone's story and knowing where you're coming from. Yes, the latter. All right. You would think I'm done today. I will do better. I really want to keep these sessions to 1 hour. Okay, I'll do better, but it's okay. It's all right. Do me a favor. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I do have some more stuff to cover. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, so we covered those 18 traits, right? And those 18 traits, for the most part, never gets to the root. I'm going to give you 4 major issues you think are narcissism, but I want you to really think again, okay? This is just 4. It's probably more. Remember I said these 18 traits, which is covered in another segment. If you're just joining this, you want to go and watch the other video on the 18 narcissism traits, right? But let's talk about 4 major issues that I see happening on social media. Just reading through the comments, listening to some of my clients, listening to some of the videos out there made by TikTokers who are jumping out there to teach other people prematurely without doing the self-work. I played some of them earlier on, by the way. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know those people, by the way. I don't know their name. They don't even give their name. The name of their content is narcissism. So obviously their agenda is clear there, right? There are 4 major issues that I would like to share with you. that will make this make sense all the way for you. Okay. And the first of them, I'm going to read out to you, then I will break it down. But there are 4 of them. Hold on 1 second. Yep. Let's see here. Boom. Let me see who is here. I appreciate you, Uncle Patrick. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Your support means a lot to me, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see. Okay. The number 1 issue is cognitive dissonance. The number 1 issue is cognitive dissonance. Okay. Why am I saying that? Cognitive dissonance is I don't even know if I don't want to worry about defining it, but there's a disconnect here. There's a serious disconnect. The people that are very quick to call their partner narcissist are actually narcissists themselves, or let me say they are more of a narcissist. I'm going to keep that spectrum on the screen, yeah, because as you can see, it's a spectrum, and any one of this behavior can come from either being an offensive person or a defensive person. Okay, you can either be the offender or you can be the defender, and you will fall on the spectrum easily, and then the other person will feel a sense of attack, and now if they beat you to it, they can call you a narcissist. So there's cognitive dissonance going on here. Shout out to our new member, Latu. Welcome, Latu. I thought you were a member all along, but welcome. If you were a member, welcome back. All right, so cognitive dissonance, okay? When you see your partner as a narcissist, obviously you'll be perceiving them as the enemy. I didn't say they are not a narcissist. I'm just talking strictly that you see them as a narcissist, right? But you also have a desire to stay in the marriage. You want to, or you need to stay in the marriage, right? That creates what I call an internal conflict, right? So what do I mean by internal conflict? What do I mean by internal conflict? That's what I meant by cognitive dissonance. There's a disconnect somewhere. Okay. There's something going on mentally with you, obviously, or with a person that sees their part. Again, I'm validating it. The whole point is that there's a reason. There's a deep reason why you see your partner as a narcissist. You've had some experience, but there's a disconnect between the fact that you, even if all you need, you just need to stay there for financial reasons. I think a lot of it is still mental, emotional reasons, but you might want to paint it as I'm preparing myself. What did they say? They say plan your exit, right? But do you have, when you create a plan, you have a timeline on it, right? Does your exit plan have a timeline on it? Does it have an ultimatum of some sort on it? I doubt it. But yet you keep going back to those videos and you keep watching them. So you have a need. There's a real need. Meaning, potentially, there's a value in staying in that relationship. Even if you want to paint it as Stockholm Syndrome, as in like you're obsessed, you're addicted to your offender, you being the victim, right? But the main issue here that you need to solve for is cognitive dissonance. Okay? And there's so many things that it might show up as frustration, it might show up as confusion. We already talked about confusion. This is an epidemic. I'm just going to say it like that. It's an epidemic and you need to watch out for it. Okay? No, you're not a troublemaker. You're good. You're good in my books, Latu, always. Remember when I used to confuse you with Natu? I was confused, but I know the difference today. Trauma bonding is another issue you're probably dealing with that you need to add another psychological term, okay? But this is probably more of the issue than it is that your husband or your wife is a narcissist. There's a toxic bonding going on here, right? And it's obvious to you. I don't have to paint the picture for you. It's obvious to you. You know that something is off. What is the solution? Is the solution to leave? Not necessarily, but nonetheless, there's trauma bonding going on. Okay. In fact, a lot of the idealization and devaluation that you're going through a lot of it's you're helping it, okay? Self-inflicted, but maybe not all the way self-inflicted. Maybe the environment is toxic enough for that kind of cycle to have a breathing room. Okay, that's something you want to pay attention to. So the narcissistic partner may alternate between, they might be doing it to you, right? Remember, it's a coping mechanism for them. Not always, oh, I'm just gonna harm her. Remember when they harm, right? So the idea that they're intentionally doing it to you is literally just dead on arrival for the most part. Okay, if somebody can be evil and be married to you for 15 years and just be an evil intentional narcissist, no, I'm just not buying into it. Okay. Can they be a narcissist? Yes. Is it evil intentional? No. I think that's speaking more of your own interpretations of how you feel where you found yourself. We have to be careful. Okay, so you may feel both loyalty to the person who once made you feel special, right? Remember love bombing, and suddenly there's the anger issue, and then you're wondering, where did this come from? The person just changed on you, right? So you feel like this person is just out to harm you. I completely get it, okay? But you see, cognitive dissonance, there's this confusion thing going on. I think you should check for trauma bonding. All right, the third one, major problem I would ask your therapist to help you look into. I could be wrong. Remember, I cannot diagnose you. Something to take a deeper look at as opposed to getting stuck at narcissism, right? Number 3 is dependency dynamics. There's the attachment theory. There's many books out there about it. There's many people. That's another popular topic. I will be careful with that topic, to be honest with you, because again, any topic that takes you out of your story that have a tendency to take you out of your story, not addressing your story, but is obsessive enough to get you tagged onto it and never really solving for the actual problem, I'll be careful about that. But it's something to pay attention to. Dependency dynamics, right? Remember I called it value, but it could be unhealthy dependency, right? It is valuable. There's a reason why you stay there, but you just can't leave, right? But then what do you do to solve for it in the short term? You just say, let me call you a narcissist. Because somebody's going to mention some of the signs or the traits or patterns that you're seeing, and it's going to be one of those traits, and you're going to conclude that this person is a narcissist. Effectively seeing them as an enemy, effectively back to number 1, cognitive dissonance, confusion. Of course, thereby creating number 4, internal struggle, internal conflicts. Okay, if it was so straightforward and you're a narcissist, you shouldn't be questioning yourself back and forth. It's no wonder why you're attracting the type of relationship that you're attracting or creating, right? Because it's confusion, right? Somebody might even look at your behavior and say you're bipolar, because one day you're in the mood, the other day you're not in the mood, and it's complete confusion, right? These are some of the things that you might, instead of pointing fingers, these are some of the things you might want to pay attention to. Okay, so those are the 4, call them the 4 major issues that I can probably consolidate all of those traits, and looking at it from the standpoint of a person that was pointing at those traits, maybe a series of those traits at the same time, maybe 3 or 5 in your partner, and you're like, nah, there's no way they're not a narcissist. I hear you. I feel your pain. Maybe I can't relate with you all the way, but I can relate with you maybe 2 or 3 of those things. I've seen them in my partner once upon a time. Instead of addressing those issues, I was like, I see a narcissistic pattern. Am I married to a narcissist? Oh, no. Women always think they can monopolize it. No. Anybody who has been in any relationship with another human being in a romantic way, you have seen one of those 18 character traits, patterns, and it made you question if, in fact, maybe, just maybe, you are in a relationship with a narcissist. But it could be. But I'm just saying, be patient with yourself. Don't rush yourself like that with basketballs. Mentally, internal struggle. You deserve better. Seek help. Talk to someone that can help you assess the situation with respect to your own story. Your story is unique. It's yours. And learning the value in your own story is going to be key to your happiness too. Okay? it doesn't mean you have to stay with quote unquote a narcissist. I'm just saying, you get to the root of the issue. All right. Natu, I know you're here. I know you're here. Welcome back. I know you were listening. We know you are here. You're already blessed up with $10 super chat, Natu. Shout out to both of you, Latu and Natu, blessed us today. All right, so let's see. Yeah. So those are the 4 major issues. Let's address it. If you're watching this later on, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. If you're a professional, please do share your thoughts as well. We'd like to rub minds and learn even more and more and more. All right, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. We have one more segment to go, and then we'll call it a day. Why would I come here and talk about all this stuff and not give you the solutions from my own perspective? I'm gonna give you my own solution. Everybody else, they do this story, they talk about narcissism and all this thing, they don't give you solution. Now, I probably gave you 200,000 solutions already, but let's align it, shall we? Let's align it. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right. Welcome back. So I'm going to give you what I call the 7 solutions. 7 solutions to dealing with popular signs of narcissism in your marriage. When you saw this as a title, you probably thought we're talking about narcissism. No, we're talking about the signs. Those 18 signs, the character, the trait we mentioned. Yes, remember, all of us are probably on in some kind of space in this spectrum somewhere, right? So not so soon, not so quick. If you want to watch where I called your partner a narcissist that she or he is, go back and watch the thing from the beginning, because I will not fail you, of course, but let's talk about, just in case you happen to be the narcissist, or your partner is the narcissist, or it's just a couple of signs out of 18 signs of a narcissist, right? Let's talk about what the solution is, right? So number one of seven, you need to answer this question: is that a diagnosis? Okay, you need to answer that question. Not to me in this comment. Don't answer me in the comments. If you want, feel free, but I'm not going to take your word for it. Okay, I'm going to trust that you go in front of a mirror and say, I've gone through all 18 signs. My partner has all of the 18 character traits, confusions, and then you want to solve it. But the first step to solving that problem is to answer this question: is that an actual professional MPD diagnosis? Okay, the answer to that question will help us before we can move any further. Does that make sense? All right, so write this down. Without this 7, you're probably solving for the wrong problem. You're probably going to stay funky in that same problem, in that relationship. And then, remember, they don't change if you don't change, right? Well, maybe they don't change, but it's even a higher chances that they won't change if you don't change, right? The highest chance, the lowest chances that they will ever change is when you don't change you. What do you mean don't change you? Because if you make an assumption that the other person is just evil, narcissistic person, what is there to change about you? After all, you are the victim, the innocent one in all of the. I'm being sarcastic. Okay, make sure you answer the question: is that a real diagnosis, professional diagnosis? If it's not, stop in your tracks. Seek help. You need help. You personally need the help. Okay. 1 Samuel 15:23. For rebellion is as the sin of a witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. That one is tough, sir. That one is coconut head is a bastard, sir. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to number 2. Number 2, stop. That is an action word. Stop obsessing over the narcissist game plan. That's one of the things they tell you indirectly, mostly. They will tell you To master the narcissist game plan, they don't always tell you directly. They might tell you to have a plan or have an exit plan or master the behavior. You need to know what these people do. You must know what they do. You need to stop. Stop obsessing over the narcissist or quote unquote narcissist game plan. Just stop it. Please stop. I beg you in the name of God. Please stop. Don't do that to yourself. Okay? Please avoid being consumed by analyzing manipulative tactics. Focus on your own emotional health and mental clarity. Your idea of the other person being the narcissist is not focusing on it's not. Okay, it's just not. And everything you focus on will consume a certain amount of energy. That's energy away from your own emotional health, nurturing your own emotional health, and having mental clarity. Okay? All right? Their behavior, this is not victim shaming. This is not blaming you for their behavior, but their behavior is still a reflection of how you see the world, your perception, what is going on, but of course a function of other things going on. It might be deeply rooted beyond the number of years you've known this person. Don't even try to fix them. It's not going to work. Your best chances of replacing that experience you're having right now is to focus on yourself, because the other alternative is a constant puzzle that you're trying to solve, and you're probably not going to. It's not going to happen, I promise you. Let's move on to number 3 of 7 solutions that I'm personally telling you right now. Choose a direction, offense or defense. Now, this one is a little tricky because it almost sounds like I'm asking you to offend the other person. No. There are forces. You're not fighting. There are forces of evil against your relationship. What relationship? First of all, relationship with yourself. And you must do everything in your power to put all your focus on offense. Not all your focus. But yes, defense is pretty natural to you. You will naturally defend yourself if anything feels like a threat, insecurity, your sense of security, safety. If anything poses that way, you naturally become defensive. Remember, defensiveness is on the red spectrum here, right? So, but it's not you that would define it as narcissistic traits. The other person who is on the receiving end of it might be looking at you as a narcissist already. Maybe they are quiet and you look at their silent treatment as part of their narcissistic traits. But actually, that's the way of being defensive or defending themselves from what they consider to be your narcissistic traits. It's a very tricky thing. It's a vicious cycle. It never ends. Choose your direction. Offense or defense. Against what? Okay, you're naturally defensive. Play some offense. Be intentional with respect to emotional intelligence. Be intentional with the situation you find yourself in. It starts with self-assessment, self-awareness. What is it about me is fueling this, recreating this? Do I need to remove myself? Does that have to be a permanent decision? Sometimes you have to remove yourself. Does that have to be a permanent decision? No, it doesn't have to be a permanent decision, but you need clarity, right? And sometimes removing yourself, removing yourself, sometimes removing yourself from that same room, sometimes removing yourself from the house. Yes. Sometimes going to the hotel room for the night if it's too toxic. So choose a direction here, but I'm letting you know right now that it's not necessarily an offense against your partner. We need to address this with respect to your story. The enemy you're fighting oftentimes is not your partner. I know it feels that way. I know that they are so defensive. They are attacking you. They look like the enemy. I know they could actually be the enemy. Maybe they came from the underwaters, the marine, under spirits, from high places, right? But there's a good chance that's not what's going on. Because if it was, it should be that easy for you to leave. Well, maybe not, because we're talking about mental issues. But the point here is that you need to also play some offense. Take control of your life. Okay? Take control of the situation. Yes, even including setting boundaries, to the point that they might say you're a narcissist because you're setting boundaries. It looks to them that you're selfish. But start with that first. That's offense. It can come off as offense to the other person, right? And then, of course, protecting yourself emotionally. So it's a tricky thing. But just think about this subtopic part of it and let me know what you come up with in the comments, okay? Number 4th solution, okay? The reason why I came up with that is because I feel like a lot of people just play the victim. So all they do is just playing defense. And there's no game in life that all you do is play defense and you win. Life is going to score on you, or you're going to be left behind. You're going to get left behind in the tournament of life because all you do is play defense. Play some offense, at least against the devil. What, can you not slap the devil in the face once in your life? Anyway, number 4, engage in self-love and care. We can't beat that. I know it sounds like broken record, but it's still true. Engage in self-love and self-care. And if you're obsessed with topics like narcissism and all these other weirdo topics, gender warrior topics, then you definitely don't care about yourself. Okay, you need to work harder on self-care. Stay away from. You learn what you learn. Now it's time to engage it in how it applies into you personally. Engage more. How does it apply to your story? That's more important than the actual terminologies themselves. All right, number 5. This is with respect to number 4. Just because you had self-love yesterday doesn't mean you're doing it today. You need to create a sustainability plan. You need to have a plan for how this is going to you need to have a plan for how this is going to be applied to your life, okay, over an extended period of time. It needs to be sustainable. I can't tell you how many people are doing self-discovery every other day, every other week, but there's nothing sustainable, which means every time you start over for real. You destroy everything that you've been working on potentially. You need to have a sustainability plan, something that puts you on a consistency plan over a period of time, minimum 90 days. 90 days is quite small. If, in my opinion, already 5 years minimum, because you underestimate what you can do in 5 years. You have a tendency to overestimate what you do in 1 year or anything shorter than that. I dropped the link, sir. I'm rounding up right now. Okay. Number 6. This is a big. This is the greatest of the 7 solutions I'm putting at number 6. But this is the greatest solution. Okay. Focus on what you want, please. Stop being obsessed over somebody who is out to get you, who just want to hurt you, who just want to focus on what you want, okay? As a secondary to number 6, obviously you're going to draw out a game plan to get what you want. A healthy game plan with respect to the relationship, okay? If you have a partner that don't deserve to be in a relationship with you, cut them loose, let them go. It doesn't have to be a permanent decision. I know the fear that what if they are gone? What if somebody else steal them? I thought they were the narcissist, but okay, another topic. But anyway, focus on that. Okay, I'm rounding up, sir. Jump in right now, sir. I dropped the link. All right, so focus on what you want. And as a secondary part of this one, like a sub number 6, create a plan to get what you want. That plan cannot be one day in nature, cannot be just this one small tactic. No, it's not possible. Okay, don't shoot yourself on the legs like that. Okay, all right, so number 7, last but not least, as we round up, shut this down in 2 minutes. Have a professional assess you for narcissism. If you're obsessed with this topic, there's a chance that you are a narcissist. Assess yourself. Go to the doctor. Trust me. There's no fear around you. You saw Nick Cannon, right? If you're that obsessed with this topic, this can easily be... Oh, sorry, I dropped the link in the wrong place. So I don't know why I do this. I often do this. Let me drop the link here. I dropped the link in the wrong place. I dropped the link right now, sir, again. If you're that obsessed with this topic, there is a chance that you are closer to the right side of this topic, of this spectrum that you're looking at on the screen than the left side. Just a chance, a small chance. Do the assessment. I think whatever you come up with, I think will give you some clarity, you know. And then maybe again, it's just self-awareness. It's just self-awareness, you know. But yeah, let me bring Uncle Patrick as we round up. Uncle Patrick, sir, how are you, sir?
Yeah, Allah, you've done great.
We are exactly at 3 hours.
I completely agree with you. But you know what problem I have is all those big grammar.
We're exactly at 3 hours, sir.
Yeah, you did.
I used to blame everybody else that would come on the show for the 7 hours, but I think I need to start checking myself. Maybe I talk too much.
If you, I just want to talk about the verse I dropped.
Okay, the first Samuel.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's 1 Samuel 15:23. Rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft, and stubbornness as bad as worshiping idols.
Yeah. So that's a big one.
Yeah.
He said that my road or no other road.
My way or the highway.
Yeah. So it goes a long way. And look at the way they are connoted. Rebellions are sinful as witchcraft. And stubbornness as bad as worshiping idol. You made a very valuable point, self-reflection. Where am I coming from? Don't look at the narcissist or don't look at that person. Look at yourself first. Deal with yourself. Is it the baggage that I'm bringing in that is, you know, that is not helping me? Do I need therapy? What am I doing to myself? You know, if you can look at that first. You know, that's why I'm going to round up with this. When you go to court, they say you should swear to an oath that you won't lie. They want you to say the truth so that you can get a feedback. I say, yeah, you were wrong. It doesn't make sense. You know, when you lie to cover up and you know you are still in the same mess. So that quote goes a long way to treat this narcissist, whatever, you know what I mean? That's why I dropped that. That just is more than 20 years. But this is just dropped into my heart last week.
So true, sir. So true.
Thank you very much, Ola.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I needed to hear that. And on that note, we're going to end the show. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Uncle Patrick. Hopefully, let me know your thoughts. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Go watch this all over again. There's a lot of things that we talked about today. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Lato says, I need to make out time to watch from the beginning. I would definitely suggest that. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. I will see you on the next one. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.